me down.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was like, who's here?
And I don't. All right, we're going live. Doc.
You gonna turn me down?
Doc.
Huh?
Doc.
What?
I'm married. I've turned you down a couple of times. I'm sorry that you feel that you should be the first lady just for fun, but
You're the second lady over just for fun.
you know, my wife would have a little bit of a problem if I was to cheat. I'm sorry. I have to let you down easy yet again. Yet again.
I think both of us are really loud.
Yeah, because you know, last night when the ladies talk, the ladies are not quite. But the thing is you're on the same mic you were last night.
I know, but I was just I was like really loud.
It might have got bumped last night.
Something.
I'm not going to bump you. I'll turn you down yet again. I swear my wife will have my nads in a change purse.
Well, you know, actually,
as long as it's
not you that I'm after, Scotty.
It's Chris.
It's Chris.
It's Denise.
Me too.
I've already got Denise. I mean, I'm working on my toaster oven with Crystal.
And the way you two flirt, like Denise is, you know, this morning. Okay, so we
just put it all out there.
Anytime you got to tell a story behind it, something's not right. So I found someone who's doing a pretty good job with giving us embroideries for our shirts. And Denise has her new shirt on, and she's like, "Look, Doc, it's on my boob." Denise, if you just want to show Doc your boob, just whip it on out. You don't have to keep finding reasons. You don't have to keep finding reasons to make Doc stare at your boob. I don't get it. I mean, actually, it doesn't matter if I do or not.
Yeah, you're not part of this equation.
You're not part of this equation.
But it's just like, Doc, look.
I mean, she's like, "Do you not like mine?" And I was like, "Hello, it's a given."
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because then Denise is like, "Because you got big boobs, Doc. Come on."
I didn't say that.
Take her out for coffee.
I've got better than that.
Am I supposed to ask? Or I mean, this is like table tennis. I'm watching it. I'm just watching the balls get thrown.
No.
So, but I'm just trying to figure out, was I supposed to ask? You got better than that? I mean, because it's Sweet D. I mean,
there you go.
I don't like that name, by the way. It just sounds like a hooker.
No, my husband said it sounds like I work on the corner of Metropolitan and whatever he said.
I wouldn't even say the corner, more of a back parking lot.
Oh my God.
You know?
Oh my God.
Sweet D. Over here in the back of Kmart.
Okay, well, what's your name going to be?
I still think it's just going to keep going with a different duh every day. I mean.
Delightfully delicious divine.
Yeah, delicious divine is much better than Sweet D. I mean,
I like Sweet D if that's what we're going to go with.
Oh my God.
Delicious Denise.
Devastated Denise. What are you talking about?
It's going to be devastated David.
Poor David's driving. Y'all are going to cause a wreck. The dude's when he has to explain why he hit the minivan with the 4 kids, he'd be like, "They kept messing with my wife." And everybody's going to go, "What are you talking about?"
They called my wife delicious. I mean, I already know that.
Ah.
Before 8.
Ah. So.
Those glasses were making me feel some sort of way yesterday.
Oh, they were turning you on?
You look
She's a glasses chick.
Smart.
Yeah, but I felt, you know.
You looked smart. You do know it's not always what you say as much as how you say it.
True.
And she was like,
"Sorry."
So yesterday, Doc, when you had all those glasses, you kind of look smart. I mean, I kind of take that as now that you're not wearing glasses, you kind of look dumb. I mean, that's how it sounds.
That's not what I
know that's not what you meant.
I
had that little suave.
She had that porn librarian thing going.
I had the dirty librarian look.
She called you dirty too now. Get a room.
No bath dirty.
So I had the dirty librarian.
All this flirting at 7:39 in the morning. I need a sip of tea. Not sweet tea. Tea. Sweet tea. I want to make sure let me just drink some of this Mio and be shutting up.
Yeah, just sip your Mio. So you
Oh,
really
my
like
gosh.
that look, Denise? Because
Yeah.
okay, I'll tell you why. Because Scotty and Mike were really mean to me yesterday.
No, Scotty was not. Mike, yes, not me.
Little Rich. I mean, Jacob just said, I don't like Sweet D either. It's short for Richard.
Yeah, see? Doc, you better learn to tell the story properly. She keeps saying I was mean. I was not mean.
Okay.
I
well,
told you those were great safety glasses. Oh God, here we go. Little Richard in the house.
So, all you just for fun, wonderful morning people. Just how y'all doing?
how are you doing?
Did you hear what Jacob just said?
Huh?
He said that I can't be called Sweet D because it's short for Richard.
Oh well, the funny part is I have different analogies of my name.
No.
All right, when I'm normal, I'm Little Richard.
Normal? How the hell is that ever possible?
That's when I'm not doing anything mischievous.
Oh,
When
Just
I'm doing
never.
mischievous, when I'm doing mischievous, I'm
then you're
pretty
just
dead.
called a gremlin.
Don't
Yeah.
get him wet after midnight.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Golly, all this sexual tension in the air.
Did not mean it like that.
Go ahead, Richard. Apparently she's over flirting with you now.
It's all good. It's the morning flirt show. It's all good.
Yeah.
Just for flirt radio.
Yes.
That's what that F really stands for, Richard.
Yes.
Yep.
You
They're
know,
getting over.
I
they're
thought it
getting
was-
over last night.
I
That's
thought
all
it was
good.
for fudged up.
Oh, Lord.
Tyler's not here yet.
Yeah. Ew. Richard's losing his voice.
I'm sorry. I'm treading on that PG-13.
Yeah, I
this
know.
morning. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
well,
before 8 o'clock.
yeah, we're still before 8.
So we're trying to get it all out before
I
time's
agree.
up.
Denise just said that's why she was trying to put it all out before
Oh my
time's
I
up.
hear you. I hear you.
Nobody's
Oh.
faulting me though.
Nobody's stopping you either.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, sweetness.
Oh, me.
So what's
Well-
going on with this morning?
A little bit of everything. Just getting ready to load up a wonderful FedEx pup truck and hopefully get the day over with. I might actually call it early today. You never know.
Mike just said doofus DD.
No,
no.
That
would be a negative.
that'd be a double negative.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, Lord.
So what you got?
I still-
Yeah.
I was gonna say I still like my one from the other day. Denise.
Oh my
I still love
Lord.
that. That's good.
Yeah. Speaking of, that's kind of whatever. But do you have any big plans this weekend?
This weekend, yeah, I'm gonna get to watch my kid. How cool is that? So my wife and my daughter are probably gonna go to Six Flags or wherever, and I get stuck at home with the youngin.
Aw.
That's wonderful
Don't
plans,
make it
isn't it?
sound horrible. You get to spend quality time.
Oh, I spend quality time with him all the time. Sometimes I need a break. No, it's cool. He's
Yeah,
a good
no.
kid. He, matter of fact, Labor Day though, we're probably going to go visit a friend's house with a pool, and he gets to go have his adventure in the pool.
He'll love that.
Oh, he eats that alive.
For any
Nothing but giggles.
for anybody that is out and about around the Conyers, Covington, McDonough area, what have you, over here in the Conyers area, there's a big car show at the American Legion, so that'll be kind of hot. The new car washes, which is one of our sponsors, is putting on this big car show, so it
I forgot
should
about
be pretty cool.
Heck yeah, they're going to be washing cars too.
I have no idea.
I was going to say, if they're still doing business, then I might go over there and get the car washed and check out some.
Yeah,
rods
now
with
the
little
car
hands.
now the new car wash, as far as a business, will still be doing car. They'll still be open for
Yeah,
business.
that's what I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know if you were talking about the hand washers or something at the car
No,
wash.
no.
No.
Now, I got a pretty truck, but I don't mind running it through a
Yeah.
machine. It's
I
cool.
watched them hand washing a Corvette yesterday. A brand new Corvette. Man, that thing was sharp, black on black.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Why
That's
it's always gotta be
a
about
hate
black?
crime.
Yeah, why it always got to be about black and
That's
white?
right. That's a black on black hate crime. I hated it. I didn't have that car. It is a crime. It is a crime. I don't own that car.
Lord of mercy. Yeah. Hey, I was curious. Speaking of the black and white thing, not to tread too far, but in the
Oreos?
news, I had sent a story yesterday, and I didn't know if you got a chance to mention it because I was kind of in and out of the office. But Taylor Swift Did you hear about that?
No.
No.
Her new video with it's wildest something or another. It's supposed to be based back in old Africa times, where it's like an old love story, where you see the guy in the white button-up shirt and with suspenders, looks like he's from an old airplane, place or something.
Right.
It's just an old love story. Well, there's a big uproar about the video. There's no black people in it.
Wildest dreams.
That's what it is.
When are
Wildest dreams.
people going to just quit looking for reasons to complain?
It's a
welcome
video.
to 2015, the year of the butthurt.
Is it a country song?
Yeah, it's a country song. It's just a video.
It's not
y'all.
even really a country song.
So okay, now I want to file a complaint because one of them Keith Sweat videos, a little bump and grind, didn't have me in it. I'm complaining. I was not asked to be in a little bump and grind video.
That's right. All them hotties and not one Scotty.
And I mean, look, when Little John did Salt Shaker, where was I? You can't have some salt without a white boy.
That's right.
But Scotty, you don't even taste chocolate. So why would you need salt? Yeah. No.
But if they're gonna be mad because there ain't no black guy in a Taylor Swift video, and ain't no black guy tasting Taylor Swift either.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my
After
God.
I'm
all,
talking
white-
about digging her music. Y'all some pervs.
Yeah,
It's
after
before
all,
8
white
o'clock.
people, we the creams in the Oreo.
We have just become the wussification of America.
That's
Oh my
right.
God. How many white folks are in all Kanye's videos? I mean,
None.
How many people do you hear uproaring about it?
Well,
Nobody.
maybe his wife. Maybe his wife is in there.
is she technically white? I still don't know.
The question really is, who really watches Kanye West videos anyway?
I
I
was
know.
ready to say it.
His wife.
His wife.
Well, the
Like
only
millions of time to get the millions of views.
the only Conway video that she watches is whatever they filmed in the bedroom.
Pretty much.
It's all
Oh,
right. They
never
have to
mind.
get the
That was a
wide-
Reggie Jackson video she was watching.
Oh, darn.
They have to get the wide-angle lens to catch her in the act when it comes to the videos of the bed, just because of her butt top.
Yeah, she's the butt of our country, all right.
Oh, Lord.
Oh Lord.
Anyways, yeah, it's idiotic. It's just purely stupid. I mean, purely stupid. When are these people gonna grow some nuts and quit complaining? It just,
Amen.
oh my God.
But how,
I
if you're a
think-
woman
Well,
complaining,
why do you have to
can't.
grow
It's
nuts?
Because you're not a man, you don't get it. But the point is, most of the time when these guys are all wussies, somebody's like, look, dude, ask your old lady to give you back your balls so you can make a decision.
Oh.
Or give them a tampon.
Yeah. It's just
I think
stupid.
Women are usually braver than men anyway. They go
Yes,
in
we are.
blindly and don't care what the outcome is.
I don't remember no white folks being in a Cool Modi video back in the day, and nobody complained about it.
Hey, isn't Kim Iranian?
Is she?
Yeah, I
Oh.
believe so.
Who cares?
So then he doesn't have any
Her
white.
butt takes up 2 friggin' zip codes. That's all that matters.
Now her stomach too. With
Golly.
West and
An-
East and West.
East
Oh
and
my
West.
God. Anyways,
Kim
it's just
Kim,
it's ridiculous.
yeah,
it's
Kim
absolutely ridiculous.
Kardashian.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed because every time Al Sharpton is raising hell, they don't allow me to stand behind him and throw up birdies. I'm pissed. I'm going to
That's right.
file a complaint with the Reverend that there should be me behind him
Really?
with a 2x4.
and a nail. Sorry.
It's either to clock him
Oh my
over his
God.
ear or stick it in his butt. It's one of the two.
Oh wow.
It's stupid. It's all of it so stupid. And everybody remember this is just a comedy show. We're trying to make fun of absolutely serious life that is absolutely too stupid to really be serious. How do you
There's
take
only-
this serious? How do you take any of this serious?
Right.
True. I will say there is one thing I like about Al Sharpton, though.
What?
He sees me to my level. He's same
Yeah.
height as me.
I'm going to file a complaint. There's not enough black folks in Mexico. Come on, let's just file a complaint.
I love it.
I want to file a complaint. Why no black folks trying to break into Mexico? Let's file a complaint on that.
Because-
Only white people run to Mexico when the
If
cops are after them.
Okay, if all of the Mexicans are coming here, why do you think anybody wants to go over there? They're running away from their own country.
Hello. If you go there, eventually there will be no Mexicans because they're all coming here, Denise.
Right.
Duh.
That's what we need to do. We need to migrate to Mexico. That's
Everybody
awesome.
migrate to Mexico because the Mexicans are coming here.
I used to think it was funny back. It's probably been 10 years ago. Times were different back then. My wife and I were amazed when we looked at MTV and saw Downtown Judy Brown, a black lady speaking with an English accent.
Yes.
I was like, that was unheard of. That's awesome. I mean, it was cool sounding.
Right.
You're like, wow. I didn't even know they had black people in England. To be honest, but. Then you
you got to figure that was back in our days before internet, all that.
Oh yeah. And nowadays, people get offended if you fart and they don't get to smell what it smelled like. I mean, geez, oh Pete, it's crazy.
Damn it, you flushed before I could see it.
It's just terrible. Hey, look, there's what she looks like now. And you got to figure it's been 20 some odd years, 25 years. But hey, look, there's a picture when she did Playboy.
I was about to say, what did she do? She did Playboy.
Yep. Once that she was kind of, I don't want to say a has-been, but once that she was no longer.
She's tilting her head.
Doc, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You okay, Doc?
Yeah, I'm just I'm looking for my mic.
I see that. You okay?
Yeah.
Wow. I was going to say, I couldn't tell what was going on over there, but I was afraid she fell out of her chair. I had no idea.
Everybody should be watching video right now. Doc, you okay?
She's resting her head on
You
her
all right?
hand. Just
You all right, Doc?
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Is that,
Thanks for
you okay here?
checking. Thanks for checking.
Benny, you need to come over here and smack her in the back of the head. This is like a skipping old record in a friggin' jukebox. Doc's like, yeah,
look at her.
What page is this?
It's just Yahoo
Okay, I got
search
it.
for Downtown Julie Brown. Now Doc's now gonna search. Now Doc's searching for some Downtown Julie Brown. Look, there's your picture, Doc.
She's speechless.
Yes,
Doc.
I would love to interview her. I think that would be a great candidate.
They don't call
for-
that interviewing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is awesome though.
Yeah,
she
she
always
is.
had a great personality.
She rocks.
Yep.
You didn't even
Doc-
know of her until
Doc didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love everything that she said. I love what she stands for. I love what she believes in.
That is hilarious.
I mean, she's an awesome iconic figure.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out how to get that icon on your computer.
Oh, Lord.
It's gonna be her desktop background.
That's
picture.
what I'm saying.
She must still be eye candy.
Oh
Is
my
that what I'm
god.
getting at?
Well, no, it was from back then.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
So, anyways, what do you got? The Doc, your own Doc. Doc. Miniaturize Yahoo because you can't focus. Now, Doc's on her computer.
Tell her to keep her hands on the desk, please.
Oh my god.
Put your hands on the mic.
Good
Okay,
Lord.
Hold on, hold please.
I'm just blown away.
What are you Googling or whatever?
I'm
She's Googling at. Not,
See, there we go. All better now.
What did you do? I can't see. Scotty, what did she do on her
I
computer?
didn't do anything.
She closed it.
I closed it.
No, she minimized it. She didn't close
Oh,
it.
my God.
I'm saving that for later.
That's when I get to the eye doctor and I'm sitting there in the waiting room in an hour.
Okay,
There
look,
you go.
let's just go ahead and mess up your brain and show these pictures.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I already
God.
saw those. She's not my heartthrob.
I guess obviously downtown Julie Brown or
Apparently.
whatever is now.
Oh my goodness.
Doc, I thought you just said that you didn't care.
No, I mean it just
She can't even talk.
Doc, what is it that you're trying to say?
is it time for commercial break?
Doc.
Oh, Lord.
It's,
She's feeling some sort of way over there.
feeling some sort of way. A little hot. Well, the temperature's up. Temperature's rising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, you always come in with your coffee.
Yes.
I told you I had a surprise for you.
Yes.
Okay. I want you to jump on the bandwagon with me.
You want me to jump on the bandwagon?
Hurry up.
Well,
Doc, focus. Doc.
Here.
Oh my gosh! So we're gonna do the water challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Hold
I got-
on. Get your water, Doc. I know she can't reach it with the T-Rex arms. That is for you because she
Thanks.
said that you've been drinking so much coffee in the mornings and all the Starbucks that she wanted to get you a big thing of water to flush your system.
Yes, and you needed I'll maybe I'll get you one of my water bottles.
Yeah, but I don't
Because-
do well with drinking water.
Isn't that
though.
thoughtful?
Okay, put a
That
little
is-
Mio in there.
That help you get healthy.
I know. Thank you.
You're
Denise.
welcome.
See, she
Drink,
was
drink
that
a
is
big
so
old glass of
sweet.
water, and then
See?
you'll have 18 commercial breaks.
she
today.
was thinking about you.
I love that.
Well, and I was also
Okay.
thinking about Scotty. I got something for Scotty.
Uh
What you got for him? You got
Well,
a hammer? You got a hammer?
A hammer.
Right.
oh. Pick up the hammer. Hammer time.
Stop. Hammer time.
Okay, so Friday we were at the wine tasting.
Yes.
Everybody made a huge deal about the wine.
Mhm.
Yeah, because all of us were in there
They were like
drinking up, tasting, because it was a wine tasting, of course.
Yes, it's wine tasting.
And she ordered a ton of more of the one or the Rico.
The Rico, the one that we were all fussing over.
Yes, and she ordered two more cases of it.
Yeah, because she
and
sold out really
she
fast.
sold
Me and
out.
Joe Leeper were having a debate over who was buying the last bottle.
And since she got more, I got the last one before for
Oh,
Scotty and them.
look at this.
Face.
Oh,
Look at this.
that
Oh,
is
and it's
so
cold,
It's
too.
cold.
It's
I have
sweating.
it chilled.
We
because
might bust that thing open right now. It is Friday.
Well, instead of Beer Friday, I figured we'd do
Oh,
Rico
that is
Friday.
So sweet.
If me and Denise have some, you got to drink your water because you need to
But-
be healthy.
How do you know this isn't? Already
We don't
some
know. Look at the
Rico?
color. Look at the
Oh,
color.
wait, how come I can't have wine with y'all?
Because you're drinking water.
But
I want you to
Jesus
be
We
more
need to
turned water
detox
wine.
you on the whole.
Jesus turned water to wine, so I can't have water.
Look,
with
You're
they
you.
not
might call
Jesus.
me. They might call me Jesus, but it's usually, oh
Jesus.
Jesus, like what have I done? Not call me Jesus.
Well, if you think about it in a different term, wine is water, but with alcoholic Mio. So you're good.
Alcoholic Mio.
That water really wasn't for you,
I
but
brought
you
it
did
to
just,
share.
but you did just drink it. She actually brought that for you, and I said, "Ooh, I got an idea." So,
No, wait. I brought it. It's mine. I brought it to share.
oh, okay. But regardless, I wanted to mess with your brain. But yeah, we are having wine for breakfast.
But just so everybody knows,
I think there's some Dixie cups in that.
Well, wine, grape juice, grape jelly. It's not a far stretch.
but just so everybody knows,
When we go to commercial, I go get cups.
she has Karen up at Gravity has some more of the Rico, so we don't have to fight over it.
That's right.
Right.
So everybody
Awesome.
needs to go up to Rico. It's going fast.
Go up
so,
to Gravity and get Rico, not go up to Rico.
Yeah. Go up
And
to-
the cool thing is I don't like wine. Like, ugh, I don't know how to explain it. I've never been a wine drinker. Like I've tried everything that's been handed to me. Here, take a sip of this, and to me, wine's like a sour taste.
Mhm.
I don't like sour,
You like this one?
but that has that sparkly, almost. I don't know whether to say like a tonic water sparkly. I don't know what I would call. I don't
Like
know how.
a champagne sparkling.
I don't know how to describe it, but I like it. I mean,
Okay.
like we drank the pee out of the first bottle.
I never got to try it because I was busy helping
Right.
that night, and so I just figured everybody made a big deal about it, and
It's really
I'm a
good.
craft beer girl, but from what everybody was, if they were fighting over it that bad that night, then
That
I figured
tells you
it's worth
something.
Trying.
Well, this is one of those wines that if you're going to a dinner party, this is a perfect wine to gift. This is a perfect wine if if you're saying thank you to a client, this is a perfect wine for that. I mean, it's a very simple, easy tasting wine. It's not
And
hard.
it's not expensive.
And
not
after
expensive.
drinking it, Doc's very easy. She just insinuated it's a very easy wine. That was funny, Doc. Good job.
Yeah, as long as her speech isn't slurred and say, "I'm taking Julie downtown."
I was trying to go downtown with Julie Brown, and the police stopped me.
Oh, Lord. All right, we're backing out of the driveway.
That's right. We gotta clean her up. Gotta clean her up.
Oh, Lord.
All right, we need to
All
get a
right.
break so we can get some cups.
That's right. We
And I
gotta
gotta
go to
let
break.
y'all roll.
Bye.
All right,
Have
see
a
you
great
later.
weekend.
See ya.
All right.
All right, and shout out to Karen at Gravity Craft Home Brew and Supply over there on Dogwood.
Yes.
Yes.
1136 Dogwood Drive.
1136 Dogwood Drive for the incredible wine.
And Joe's excitedly texting, and I'm probably going to say the name wrong. He says, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for the SPO
Spody.
White. Is that?
Yeah, there was a different
Spody
one they
White.
were talking about.
Okay.
Remember the Spody you guys got?
Yes.
It's a Spody White.
Okay. So the name of it's Spody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I always,
I'll talk to
I
Karen.
always kind of thought that was like slang when they said, dude, just you call it Spody. I mean, I didn't know that it was
I'll
actually
talk
a word.
to Karen and see if she's getting that anytime soon. Did they have that at the wine at the
Yeah,
wine
apparently.
tasting?
They did. Because
Let me tell
remember
you,
when
you
we
know
drank
what
them
we've
this
done?
week?
And it's not just because that's what we were supposed to do, but what we've done is we told people meet us up there, right? We brought people in, and all of us have discovered something that we like.
Yes.
How cool is
That
that?
cool is that?
I mean, but that shows you like how diverse everything in her store is that there's something that everybody likes.
It's cool.
And for those of you that love pumpkin flavored stuff, she's getting out and putting on tap her pumpkin flavored beers and ales.
And I went through a phase where I had pumpkin pie as a kid, then all of a sudden I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've kind of got where I like a pumpkin pie, so I'm gonna have to come try this pumpkin ale.
I'm not a big pumpkin fan either, and she said it's not like an
You
overwhelming.
do look like
pumpkin.
a pumpkin head. Don't fool
Shut up.
yourself.
She said it's not an overwhelming pumpkin flavor. It's there's just a
hint of it would be cool.
A hint of it. So,
and a lot of these ales I'm noticing just by drink, and for me, because I'm not a big beer drinker anymore, because I just water everything down. I like light. I mean, like my water has a little Mio in it. You know, it's mostly water.
No, I'm just laughing at the restaurant yesterday. Scotty asked for half and half, so the waitress brings him a full glass of water and a full glass of Sprite and 2 straws.
I said, I need a half and half. I need half water, half Sprite. I mean, like, how much more
can you just bring me one more cup and I'll do it myself?
How much more definition do I need to give you at that?
And
I love it, though.
Is that the first restaurant that's done that?
No, that's happened a lot. So I have to take 2 straws and drink it like it's a double barrel shotgun.
No. What else I love, though, is we go in and it's like 6 of us. And we say we need a table for 6.
Yeah, it should have been 8, but anyway.
So she goes,
you were honeymooning with
it was
your
date
band.
night. It was date day for you, honey.
Date day.
Okay,
Date
but
day.
we would have come eat lunch with
It don't matter. We don't disturb you
we
on the
don't
one
disturb-
day you get
right.
with them.
Right. So we say,
Golly.
so we're standing there.
There we go for trying to be nice.
So we're standing there, and the hostess goes, "Okay, you two are together, and you two are together," and we were like, "No, we all want to eat together."
Yeah, why would we say
How is that so
need a table
hard?
of 6?
They always this is like the second time we've gone somewhere and they've done that to us. And I'm just like, okay, what is going on
And
here?
it was like you guys were talking, because when I was listening somewhere and you guys were talking about if you go in somewhere together and they're like, okay, so it was you and Benny and him and Crystal. They're like,
what I said was I find it funny because it's either they believe there's no way these white folks are going to sit with 2 black lesbians, or is it we know good and well these black lesbians ain't going to eat with them 2 white folks. I mean,
it's like we just can't, we can't be together. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm going to come in dressed up as Bozo the Clown, and I'm going to see where the hell you sit me.
God forbid that like a black person and a white person sit together. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, because we got 2 separate water fountains. We ride on 2 separate buses. I mean, it's only 2015.
Toilet papers.
It's not like I'm spitting out my juicy fruit gum and now she's chewing it. It's not like that. But we do want to sit at the same damn table.
And but Conyers and Lithonia and that this whole corridor down here, that's the only place where this happens.
You ain't seen nothing. Go to McDonough. It's worse.
Oh my God.
McDonough, I love McDonough, but to me, McDonough's like 10 years behind on some issues.
Oh my
like when I was down there working in the bars, the bar scene, the bar area, some of the things I witnessed, I'm like, is it 1970?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't jive. Like, it's not that it was wrong per se, but it's like, what year are we in?
Yeah,
They're just a little...
What time warp
and
did you
behind on the times?
Behind on time. And Macon is even one step further than that. It's like the more south you go, the more back in time you go, apparently.
Yeah, but this is part of the metro area. I just never, I don't know. I just didn't.
We number 5. Why are we getting treated like this if we're number 5 on the ghetto statistics?
David made the comment during the Periscope when you guys were in Value City yesterday, and he was like, and that's why Conyers is number 5. Because you got somebody in there trying to call somewhere on the phone and trying to find a rotary phone.
Yeah.
That would have been me and Crystal. Yeah.
It's just, and how about this? And I just got to pick. So we're in a store, Goodwill-ish, Salvation Army-ish, and it's a thrift store where when you donate to the Kidney Foundation, this is where it goes, and then they sell it, turn stuff in for the Kidney Foundation. And they got this horrible furniture that
God
looks
knows
like
what is on it.
It looks like 4 fat guys later it'd be falling apart. And they have this cheap Taiwan furniture with like an $800 price tag on it. And I'm like, did y'all accidentally put an extra 0 on there? Because
probably because the extra stuff that's on it. It
looks, well, no, this is all new. This furniture's new. But it looks like it should be $100 bill and not 7 more of those. I mean, there is no way on this planet anybody should be stupid enough to pay $800 for this friggin' couch.
But if they're putting $800 on there, obviously they've sold one before to somebody stupid enough to buy one for $800.
Apparently. Who the hell goes to a thrift store to buy a new couch?
Okay, but how much would a couch like that be at a furniture store?
That couch?
Yeah.
At a furniture store, probably $300-400.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's at a furniture store that has like big overhead and
Right.
cost / profit / whatever.
Because I was wondering if it would be more expensive somewhere, so they think they're getting a deal for $800.
To me, buying the futon from the Walmart with the metal frame is going to last longer than that piece of crap.
Not that I'm.
Listen, let me
going to
put
get
it
a
this
couch.
way. Let me put it this way. If you were to ever watch the cheesiest porn you could ever watch, this would be the furniture that should be in that movie. I'm just saying.
Oh, sweetness.
It is horrible. And to think that
You should have taken a picture of it.
person who doesn't have the cashola to go to Haverty's has to go there to buy this. And this is junk. It's complete junk.
Well, maybe they don't have the credit or
3
something.
kids bouncing on it later, it would be destroyed.
So let my kids go in the store and it would be broken in the store.
Probably. Mike could sleep on it for a week and it'd be falling apart. Mike and I'm not busting on Mike, but I mean, Mike would be the guy that would like want to lay there and watch a movie or something. And a week later, he'd be like, oh my God, this thing's just.
Well, he could do that thing for cash where he lays there 24 hours a day and see how long it lasts. So he's doing an experiment and getting money for laying flat.
It is what it is. Let's go to a commercial. I know we went over. It's 8:07. We do this every day. I need to get me a nice big LED red clock to hang in that ceiling next to that light.
I try so hard to keep us on track, but I
yeah, I know. Downtown Julie Brown kind of messed you up.
You want to do your live reads before we go?
No,
we
got to go to commercial. We'll be right back. Don't entice her to make us go over any further. We'll be right back, everybody. It's just fun in the morning.
Don't entice her.
Why not? She's done told you to look at her boobs.
So do you really drink all of these every day, Denise?
Yeah. More than one.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, but
I mean, look, I drink roughly 4 of these a day.
But then you pee all the time.
That's what you're supposed to. You're supposed to flush your system out.
I used to drink 6 cherry cups a day. I maybe drink one.
When you cut out sodas, you start losing weight right there.
Yeah, I think that's why I get migraine.
And drink it. Yeah, if you're not drinking sodas, you're getting headaches because of that. But it take about 2 weeks to get past all that. And just drinking water helps. Not just cutting sodas out helps you lose weight, but peeing a lot and flushing your system out with water helps you lose weight.
Huh. Okay. I'm going to drink water then.
Oh, my gosh. Stretching feels so good. That massage with Jennifer. Oh, she loosened up all my stuff in my back. I'm sleeping better.
Let's see.
That's a rock and roll. Mm. 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 Been a long time, been a lonely time. Sorry, y'all, it's Led Zeppelin. I just can't play it over the YouTube because they say that I technically don't. Even though, okay, let me word it this way: the radio station, I pay royalties to play the songs, but YouTube says that I don't own the song, so therefore I can't play the song. Lonely, lonely, lonely time.
Oh, I didn't know that. That I was looking at that picture of the Just for Fun tag, but I didn't know that if you had the business license and somebody else had the license tag, that you can't. That once you go in, that you can get it because you have the license for it, but they have to surrender theirs. I didn't know that.
Cool. So we can go get the. I wanted to do JST, but it doesn't sound right. So JUS for fun will be what I end up with.
Okay.
And then you would have to go for JST.
Is that what that one is?
Huh?
That.
Because I want to get the JUS fun for the bus.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you know how we do intro music?
What about it?
Have you thought about doing some for the other shows so that when they come back from commercial, because that's like David was saying. He was like, he knows when he's listening in the morning and he hears that intro music.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I need to start listening. Yes. So he was saying.
Do you always think that y'all come up with the first ideas?
No, I know. I was just asking.
Yes, it's already been taken care of. I just find it funny because you know what this proves? You didn't listen to Electric High the other night.
I was in and out because I was dealing with the kids.
So what did you notice on Electric High?
I didn't notice because I wasn't listening at the commercials.
They have that now.
Electric Avenue is their song.
Just like on Ladies Talk, ours is this ladies' night.
Maybe that's
Oh, we just love you, duh.
We still didn't get cups.
I'll go get them right now. All right, we're back. And if you've been watching video, you would see why Denise is just called duh. I love you, Denise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
I had a puppy like that one time. He kept running in the doors. I couldn't figure out why. I loved it.
Go get the cups.
But I loved the puppy too.
Go get the cups.
It ended up looking like a Pekingese. Its nose got pushed in. It kept running in the doors. And it ran in circles, chasing its own tail. Denise, we love you.
Thank you. I love you too. Go get some cups.
Go get the cups, Scotty. Oh my gosh.
I'm going for cups.
Yeah, I think you should. While we still have.
Are you going to be able able to drink wine and then go to the eye doctor? You're gonna be like this. They're gonna go, "What's wrong with your eyes?" Nothing. Nothing's wrong with my eyes. I'm perfectly okay.
Have you already been drinking the wine this morning?
No, that's what the doctor gonna say. Well, we turn water into wine.
You're like, check us out on Just for Fun Radio,
Oh, my heavens.
where we turn water into wine on Fridays.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Or beer.
So last night, they had the party house meeting at Honey Creek Country Club. So Benny took the kids and went.
Niles looked he was like, the periscope. I think he had fallen asleep until the guy walked up. He was like the vice chairman or something.
Yeah.
And he was like this the
These
whole
cups
time.
are kind of appropriate. Joy juice.
They're Dunkin' Donuts.
Here, I gotta set
Looks
it
like
over here to get forward.
Drinking coffee.
So we'll pour in a second. Let's hear this. Let's hear about this meeting.
Okay, so Benny went to the because I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to make it because I had ladies talk and everything. So she's like, "No, honey, I'll go." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, we needed somebody to represent.
Yeah. So
Did she ask any questions?
well,
Okay, keep going. I don't want to mess up your story.
So she said that she's sitting there, and Fiona, who was one of our friends that I met through the radio, and I always pronounce her name wrong.
Janice Finesse.
Okay, so Janice sat at the table with Benny.
Janice.
What? Did you say my name?
And Fiona sat at the table with Benny. So she's like, the room was, it was, she said the room was kind of full. And she said, she got there and nobody was really talking to her or anything. And I was like, yeah, that's common because people here, unless they know you.
Yeah, unless they know you.
Right. And it was like, this, and so she said, well, Fiona,
she could have just walked straight up to Janice though and said, "Hey, I'm Benny,
right,
part of Just Fun Radio," and that's
right. Well, Janice knew who she was because Janice and I are Facebook friends. So, she knew Benny from the Facebook. So she sat with her. And so the guy who is the director of code enforcement was there and he was speaking.
This is so good. I'm sorry.
Speaking, just talking, or was he actually up speaking yet?
He was speaking, but he was one of the
or there to speak.
Yeah, he was there to
I'm asking in the way you're describing the story. He was there to speak.
Right, he was there to speak. And so he's standing up and he's telling everyone, he's giving them all of the legal mumbo jumbo about why they can't do anything about this and how they have to go through protocols and all of that. And so Benny raised her hand to speak and he just kept ignoring her.
Stand up.
And so it gets better. So, she stands up. Then he turns his back to her.
Oh,
look here, cracker.
No.
I would have been all up in your Kool-Aid for that one. Don't disrespect me.
So, Benny,
I should have been there.
Benny's trying to figure out what to do. And
what about on the Fox 5 news?
Janice Finesse.
Janice stands up and is all over him. And she's like, look,
good
this woman
job,
has been standing
Janice.
up, waiting to talk. And you're not giving her the mic. She, you need to hear what she has to say.
Good for her.
I was like,
and was he a supervisor or just an employee?
No, he was the director.
We mean you need to go see him, by the way.
Yeah, he was the director.
We're gonna give him. We're gonna give him some direction.
I was like, wow. And so she said, with all due respect, we followed all of the legal protocols. We've emailed, we've documented, we filed police reports. And so then the guy who, I guess he's over the Chamber of Commerce, I don't know the guy that we saw at the.
Yes, I forget his name. I'm so horrible with names.
I'm horrible with names. But he was there.
There's an echo.
Yeah.
And he said,
well, we meet so many people, it does get confusing.
It does. Right. It really does. So he was there and he said, well, what about a task force? Have you all set up a task force to look at why this, to look at what we can do? Because, we've got to stop this. And basically the guy's response was, well, we've been calling law enforcement. He's like, you've been calling law enforcement for a year. Where is the task force? We needed a task force last year when this first came to light. When it first
started, right.
Right. He's like, so why is this almost going into the second year of doing this and nothing is being done?
Right.
And, and he was like, well, it's not just a problem in our community. It's a problem nationwide.
But the problem is this. You jackass. It doesn't matter if it's nationwide. Your effing job is for this county.
For this
Right.
county,
I don't need you worrying about other counties. You need to do your job in this county.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's
what
I was about to say.
What a POS comment.
Very.
Oh, well, this is nationwide. Well, your job, sir, is to take care of this
Okay,
community.
How about you take care of it here and set an example for the other communities?
No doubt. How dare he stand up and say, well, this is nationwide?
I can be smart sometimes.
Deal with you are an county dude, man. Take care of your crap.
Yeah.
Do your job.
So, and Commissioner Oz was there too. And so he asked Benny, he's like, the next time this happens, text me and let me know.
Yeah, me and Oz talked. Me and Oz talked. We're gonna do something. I can't tell you what. It's not illegal, but
Okay.
we got you.
It's not
You got
illegal.
me. Okay.
That's all we're worried about is that it's not illegal.
So then the other thing that Janice started is she started a petition, and my friend Kelly, she's one of my Facebook friends who's actually been really instrumental in helping me push this out. She started an online petition last night. So I mean, I've got people behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And Benny went out and walked the dogs this morning, and she's like, they're trashing the yard again. I'm like, don't pick it up.
Don't.
I was like, don't pick it up. I said,
Take pictures.
Yeah, that's what I told her.
Take pictures and date it.
Well, that or make a police report because you know who's doing it. And
You need to start making a police report that this because that's vandalism.
They'll come out and probably be like,
It don't matter what they do.
It's paper trail.
It's vandalism.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to show harassment is being done towards you. You got to do that.
But take a picture on your phone so that if they try to come out and be like, well, we did one yesterday. Well, there's more.
There's
so
more.
I need another report.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day. Don't
And
matter
if
what.
it's
Don't
every
matter.
day, yeah.
Don't matter. Do your job and just suck it up, Buttercup, and do your job. If somebody calls to make a report, you gotta fight. You gotta go. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's just it's the way the
That's
job
the way
works.
the-
And all you have to tell the dispatcher is I need somebody to come out to do a report for vandalism.
That's right.
Don't go into details. I just need somebody to come out and do a report for vandalism.
So,
Yeah.
but the real cool thing is this. It's really cool. You know me. I will use dealing with AT&T. I use their rules against them.
Right.
Newton County school system. I used their rules against them. Remember the whole God is dead?
Yes.
They kept saying that they couldn't do anything about having God is dead written on the wall. I said, if you tell me that you can't have religion in school, then you can't have that. I used their own rule against them. That's what made them have to
Right.
take it down.
Right.
So when these people have a party, I can go knock on the door. So what? I knock on the door.
Yeah.
And until a property owner tells me 3 times to leave my property, until that happens, you can't really charge me with criminal trespassing.
That's true.
Mhm.
So if the whole neighborhood's over there, and my neighborhood, and your neighborhood, and Denise's neighborhood, any county person wants to go over there and knock on that door during their party, not a whole lot they can do.
Because there's not a resident there.
No, just saying. Or is there a person holding a lease? Is there a leaseholder there? Do you get mail at that address?
Right.
I'm there for the party just like you.
I love it.
So
She's going to town on that water. I'm proud of you.
so then what? Not counting, I plan on going there with my video camera, with my light on it, and we're going to go Jaguar, SJ6-194 Henry County, Volkswagen, JF whatever
you're not doing
county.
anything
And I'm not
illegal.
doing anything illegal. You know why? Because you're parked on a county road, and I can video anything I want publicly. And if I'm not standing on their property videoing people walking in and out of the door, I can stand in the street and video people walking in and out of the door, and it's perfectly legal. I will put their face all over the news,
Mhm.
a news feed on Facebook. And if it's a swingers party, which is what stories are coming back on, saying it's a swinging party, you can take your vibrators and your sex oil and go to another county, sir. It is what it is.
Well, all righty then.
I'm just saying it's retarded that we as a nation have allowed all this kind of crap to happen.
Well, I think what really just made me sad about the whole thing is the initially people were shocked but it was just the lack of support that I got until, Scotty got behind me and Fiona.
And when we're off air, remind me to tell you some confidential type stuff that's taking place that helps move this forward too.
It was really, it was heartbreaking. And, and even now with the non-verbal threats that we're getting.
Well, because now what they're doing is they're doing to you what they did when the God was dead, except what you're getting is a whole lot easier than what I got. You're getting some trash in your yard. I get trash in my yard every day. I don't care. You know what?
Right.
I just let it blow because thank God that people run 100 down my road. It just blows it into the next yard. But see, I actually had people sending me messages about how I know where you live.
Wow.
I got a bus in the yard. I don't hide where I live.
Right.
I got people saying, don't be surprised if you get shots through your window. Well, you're not the first that's made those threats,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And it's real simple. The ones, because it's not really a threat when they type, I know where you live. That's not really a threat.
Facebook Cowboys.
So I just type back, let me know when you're coming. I'll have some coffee ready for you.
Facebook Cowboys.
I got an assault rifle. Don't think for a second that you don't shoot at me, I don't return fire. I mean, come on. Don't think what's good for the goose ain't good for the gander.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to sound like a big shot. That's not what I'm trying to say. But don't you threaten somebody for trying to do the right thing.
Right. And
that's the thing that aggravates me. I had one guy that wanted to be really crappy to me, telling me that standing up for my daughter about the school stuff wasn't my place. I shouldn't this, I shouldn't that. And he cussed me. I ended up in Porterdale at the baseball field where he was standing, and we talked. And it's not a violent talk. We talked. And he asked me, let me word it this way. He asked me to come down there. So I come down to see him. And he's on one side of the fence. I'm on one side of the fence. His son was running. It was football practice. And he looked at me and said, I want to apologize for being so nasty to you. He said, I kept telling you it wasn't your place to do this and blah, blah, blah. And he says, after I hung up the phone with you, I asked my daughter about, did she see that on the wall? And she said, yes. And it really bothers me. And then he said, my throat got stiff. The frog in my throat kind of took place. I started feeling sorry because my own daughter said it bothered her, but she was just too scared to bring it up at school because she didn't want to be harassed. And he said, I just wanted to personally apologize you for trying to do the right thing. And I said, here's the thing. And I'm not boasting. Please don't take it that way. But an average person doesn't have the means to do what I can do.
Right.
Right.
The average person just doesn't have it. So the average person has a problem, and that average person comes to me and says, can you help me?
Yeah.
So why does that make me wrong?
It doesn't.
I'm just trying to help. Doc comes up and says, I got a problem. What can I do? And I go, watch this. Let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, because even when
and you noticed a meeting happened last night, right?
Well, yeah. And even when it first broke, when it first broke last year, Scotty had my back.
Well, when it broke last year, I didn't know nothing about it.
You shared it though.
But I didn't know all the details.
You didn't know all the details.
But now I know all the details, and I went to face to face with people.
Yes,
I walked in offices and started having talks, and you noticed there was a meeting last night.
Yes.
Just saying.
And I appreciate that.
When the mics are off and whatever, we can talk more. But yeah.
So that's.
But my thing is as a citizen, I want every single person to know, no matter what county that you live in, you are a citizen of that county. You have every single right to walk right up in the man's office and demand answers. You pay your taxes. You are a registered person at this address. You have every right in the world to. Don't feel like these people have authority over you. You have authority over them.
Right. They work for you.
These suckers work for you.
I forgot. Benny's here.
My alarm's going off. Let's shoot off to a commercial real quick. Everybody, You know, we're just trying to let everybody know that as citizens, you have rights. Quit taking what you think you shouldn't have to take anymore. We'll be right back, everybody. Hang on, and I'll get her. Oh, you got her. Honey. Bella, come here. Bella! Come here. Come here. Bella.
Come here. You never met Bella?
Come here, baby girl. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on.
Hey, honey.
Come on. Bella. Come on, let's go.
I'm pouring some more wine. He poured too little.
Come here, baby. Lay down. It'll be okay.
No, I'm good. I'm getting ready to run out.
No, you don't.
Yes, I am. I got to go to the
No,
doctor.
you don't.
Stay right there.
I do. That's a big dog.
David's like, I want to go see the dog so bad. Because we have.
Bella.
No, that was Betty.
That was
Yeah, that was me. For YouTube, look at what we doing. I'm kissing my wife.
Is there a change.org thing yet?
Yeah.
What's
there
it
is.
named?
I've got to go on Kelly's page and get it.
Because I was going to look and see how.
This probably this afternoon she will have it up.
Well, Kelly created it last night because she sent me a text like 1 in the morning.
Oh,
Come here,
okay.
baby. Hey, let me get your bed.
And her face looks just like, because we have an American Bulldog. Her face looks just like ours.
What kind of dog is she?
It's called a
Pressa.
Pressa, but they're part American Bulldog and part Mastiff.
Oh, yeah.
The coloring is Mastiff.
All right, I'm going to mute the mic for just a second. And we're back, everybody. Let me get this on. All right, all you just for funners, we're back. Good Lord. I see now what happens is I muted my mic and I actually turned the mic up. So I see now what's happening is the way the mic is where the you know, it's kind of funny. The mute button is at the top of the volume. So you end up bumping the volume up trying to mute stuff. So now I understand why the mics were so hot this morning. Do you need the thing leaning back? Oh, okay.
Do you want me to lock it for you?
I couldn't figure it out.
It's one of them
I'll
crazy
lock it for
knobs. We're not going there. Yeah.
His ribs hurt,
There
so
we
he
go.
couldn't get me off the floor, and Denise doesn't have enough
Yes.
weight. And Denise surely is not going to pick me up.
I tell you, since my massage, if anybody needs a good massage, Jennifer
Perfect.
does the sports rehab type massages, the deep tissue and everything else. Man, she found all the stuff behind my neck a couple of weeks ago, then got my shoulder blades. I basically gave myself whiplash. I mean, basically, to just be honest about it, I have whiplash from
What you get.
doing the motorcycle.
Mother Nature does not play.
That's right. So,
Oh, no,
I
you
had-
said that was from, I thought that was from trying to scare the geese.
no. Well, no. What happened, though, is I re-injured it throwing the half-frozen egg because what it is I never officially was healed.
Right.
So just because I felt better doesn't mean that I was better.
Exactly.
And I went out there.
Is crazy. I
Yeah.
got into an accident one time, and I was sitting in one of those jump seats in an extended forward Ranger.
Uh-huh.
So when we got hit, instead of my head going up and down
Mhm.
or like forward and backward, it went side to side.
Wow.
And my doctor told me that was the worst case of whiplash he had ever seen. I had to wear one of
Wow.
those neck braces for a while. It messed my
Wow.
shoulder up. Like you can see one of the sides, the collarbone is lower than the other.
Have you had an X-ray on
I
it?
thought that was a zipper injury.
Oh my God. But anyway, it screwed up. It screwed
I got
up
this from that Jordache accident in 1984.
I used to have a pair of Jordache.
This right here. See this scar? That's from when I got hurt. I fell off that stool at the skating rink.
Hey, that's how I broke my elbows at the skating rink.
Oh my God. That
Oh,
was a
speaking
joke.
of which, my sister was dancing, and she's almost 60 years old out there on the skating rink, and fell down and broke her arm in two. Yep. When she stood up, you could see the bone from the side.
When
and the
was
other.
that?
Yeah, this was a year ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. And mine,
I don't do that stuff.
when it was cool to skate,
It's always been
It's
school.
still cool to skate.
yeah, I
skate. You know, I'm
actually
trying to
went skating last week and didn't kill myself, didn't get hurt.
We need to go with you. I need to take Niles
Well,
skating. I think he would enjoy
I
it.
think we're going to go up as like not as a birthday party, but with my kids up to the skating rink. And so
Let us
bring
know.
them up there.
I'll bring it. Yeah.
How about this? I was supposed to. It's been about a year when this started, but I was supposed to do. I try not to give too many ideas out because people listening steal my ideas. But I was going to do a thing at the skating ring, and it was going to be 70s, 80s, and 90s, and it was going to be adults only.
I could go with my afro again.
See,
I just have a big afro.
what you think of that? Now I don't want to give you too much information, but that's what it was going to be. Is we was going to
Make
get
it happen.
We was
With
going
the
to
bell
get it.
bottoms.
Yep.
Yeah, I could do that.
We
Yeah,
wanted
'cause-
the catch was the catch that I was going to advertise it as. You don't have to skate,
Right.
but I mean you'd have to pay whatever the $4 or $5 to get in, because it is a skating
$7.
ring. You still got to pay
Right.
Now.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying,
You're welcome.
25
Nazi.
cents when I was.
So, but the catch is I wanted you to come dressed up as the time frame in which you went to the skating rink.
Yeah.
So if you were the person that only went to the skating ring when you were between, say, 7 and 10, and that was 1978, then that's what I kind of was looking for. I wanted each person to kind of come from when like me, I was going as a kid, but I mean, truthfully, I went to like I was 15. So
Mhm.
I could just choose what era I wanted to be dressed for.
Well, see, the
But
cool thing when I was in high school in the 90s was to go during and while you're in high school.
right. So there you go. That's what we were going to
See,
play.
You
70s,
can rent it
80s,
out
and
style.
90s.
you can rent it out for a
Me
whole day.
and the owners already talked about it. They were down. They wanted.
So what would
Then
you wear
what are
from
you
the
waiting?
90s? Let's see. I'm
I don't
thinking
know, that's what I was trying to think. Like
Cindy
Stonewash,
Lauper.
like Stonewash jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were from the 90s, you'd do like Stonewash jeans. I don't know, because to me, Stonewash was like 86.
Or I don't know. You
Say
know that-
80, 88, 89 maybe.
That's when the
Yeah, I didn't have a style in
overalls,
the 90s.
the overalls were really big. I had
Okay.
some short
Yeah,
overalls,
90.
and you left one undone.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a
The
style.
guess, the guess overalls.
Yes.
Yeah, for us, it was the
But where do you get them? Because Goodwill, I'm sure, doesn't have them.
I
the
don't
polo
know.
shirts and
Yeah.
the penny loafers.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. But when I was skating, we had the big afros and the bell bottoms.
Right.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
I
It's so
remember-
fun.
I remember when I was skating, Sister Sledge,
Yeah.
the Pointer Sisters, Rod Stewart. I mean, all that was back then when I was skating at Plantation in Clarkston. You know, we had certain ones we went to. We had Clarkston, we had Plantation, we had Lithonia that had the Rainbow skating ring, and then
Oh.
Golden
Look,
Glide.
she's all like, oh.
The rainbow.
Yeah, it's a church now. As funny as that is, Golden Glide's still there. I don't know if it's still considered Golden Glide, but those
Go
were
and
the
Glide.
golden
Oh. okay.
Glide, because they had a hardwood floor. It looked like a basketball court. It was super
Yeah,
glossed over.
yeah.
Man, that thing.
I
was
think that's
awesome.
what they all look like
A
now.
lot of slipping and falling.
Wood and
Yeah.
no, but see,
Joe
the funny
Leaper,
thing-
where am I going to find a pair of parachute pants? That's me. I've got my old
That was the
parachute
80s.
pants. I would have
Definitely.
to sew together and make one pair.
eBay.
That was the 80s.
They well, and that's the funny thing is this weekend. My best friend growing up had her. It was her son's birthday, and it was the skating rink in Griffin. And they have actual corner where like beginners can go back there and skate.
Right.
I hadn't had skates on in 10 plus years. And so I'm back in that corner once I decided to go ahead and get skates on.
Right.
But this was the first time my kids skated, and they didn't understand why they couldn't go out in the regular rink. And I'm like, because these people
will run over
over you. And so we pretty much stayed back there the whole time. And then towards the end of us leaving, I took each of them around once I got more comfortable on the skates. Because I'm not going to sit here and try to skate. And I mean, you're all right.
Did it take you a while to get used to it? Because I haven't skated
like
in about
10 or
20.
15.
My son is 30
It's like riding
years
a
old.
bike. You just pick it back up. And
Yeah, but my problem is like I used to have Rydell's, which were at that time frame were some of the most expensive ones. You know, they were the black with the white racing stripes down the side, so to speak. And then I had these really expensive wheels that were the Red Devils, and then we went to the Zingers. And the problem is you getting in rental skates, those things go left and right. I mean, you're going to bust your rear.
Well, and I found out while we were there too, you can have them tighten the wheels so that it's not as like loose,
right?
So like you can, if you need to walk in them, you can kind of walk in them.
How about this? Dusty hits up and says, the 90s started the grunge look. Now I remember, and this is so funny, I remember when the grunge look at the flannel shirts, the girls were always wearing low on their hip baggy pants, and I kept going, the girls don't look like girls anymore. I can't wait for the tight Jordashes to come back on butts, because these girls were wearing clothes that were not accenting their sensuous curves. Like when I look at a girl and she was looking more like a big guy, I'm like, come on, get some tight jeans back in. The grunge looks like the Navarre Pearl Jam, where they were all wearing flannel shirts and like a plain Jane t-shirt underneath it. And it wasn't even a white t-shirt, just any color t-shirt and baggy pants.
I still do that.
Yeah, but there's a difference of just being comfortable, and that's what they were doing because they thought it was trendy.
Wow.
Flannel shirts were huge back then. Even if it was the summer, you're still wearing a flannel shirt with a shirt underneath.
Because they were all trying to be something. You know?
Now, I remember when the goth look came out.
Yes.
We had one girl in the whole school, and she wasn't the most popular, but she was the most talked about.
Right.
Because she was comfortable with what she was doing.
My God.
And then how about this?
I'll admit she was a great person.
And I do remember right in the beginning of the 90s, Lil Richard says, I used to own Z Cavariccis, and I still have a pair hanging in a closet somewhere because I've always saved certain stuff. Like I have my Hyper shirt. You remember the shirts that
change
when you
color
blew on them or whatever, they change colors.
There were shirts that you blew on that changed
colors.
If you went in really cold weather or really hot weather, it would change. Like if you were in a car with air conditioning blowing and then got outside in the heat, it would change colors.
That's the Cavariccis.
Yeah.
Oh, with the pleated.
Yeah, they were pleated on the front and then the little baggy around the legs.
Oh, that's so ugly.
But we wore them. I remember those. I had a pair.
Those?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we thought that was the style.
Yep.
It's amazing looking back and seeing and remembering you wore those and you're like, really?
Like I went,
but it was cool back then.
Couple of years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, I went to yearbooks.com or something like that, where you could pull up your old high school yearbooks.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm in there with my afro, and I did it because my kids didn't believe I was like, they're like, you're a nerd, Ma. You're not cool. You know, they didn't think I were cool. So I was like, I'm going to show you. And of course, I lost all my yearbooks and stuff with the passing of my mother. I don't know where that stuff went. So I found pictures of me in high school, and I think, wow. And I thought my style was cool. And I was. I'm not going to lie. I was. But compared to what kids are wearing today or how I dress
what they're
nowadays,
not wearing.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think we showed a little skin too. I didn't. But there were girls that showed a lot of skin in school. You knew who they were, though. We knew who they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah, because there was a neon sign that was saying, "Bing, parking lot girl."
Pull up yearbooks.com. Let's look at yearbook photos.
Yeah, I think it's yearbooks.com, but you can find the old yearbooks, something like that.
I mean, I still have my yearbooks at home. Thank God I was able to get them during the divorce because I couldn't know where they were, or I didn't know where they were up in the attic. But
yeah. So and then when you go to the site, you should be able to put your high school in,
to the web.
Then let's see. Yeah, go to web.
There's Classmates.
It's under classmates.com. So it should be able.
Yeah, I tried to join that one time
your
to find
yearbooks
somebody.
reprinted. This is the site here. So yeah, it's
classmates.com.
Your whole
yearbook reprinted?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. They keep a copy of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I got my Avondale one, which was so funny because when I first went to Avondale, my hair at this point, I was actually starting to grow it out. And at the time, we had mullets, but they wasn't really called mullets. What was happening is the back of your hair started to curl up. It was that ducktail.
Right.
And I broke my shoulder. So my hair was really long, but I broke my shoulder. And when they put a body cast on me, I had to have a fiberglass cast from my armpits to my hip.
Right.
And then from my bicep to my wrist. And I had 2 actual mop handles that they cut a mop in half to support my arm. Well, when they did that and they were trying to run this fiberglass stuff around me, it kept getting in my hair. And literally my mom held it up as a ponytail and just cut it. So then the bad thing is I went the first week of school, and then it's just like this holiday Monday.
Right.
This Monday, when I was 13 years old, this Monday coming, I broke my shoulder. And I didn't go back to school till midterm. Well, when I went back midterm, they needed to get my picture for the yearbook. So I'd only been in Avondale for 4 days before I broke my shoulder and didn't come back for 8 weeks. So I get there and they're like, look, tomorrow you need to dress up. My dumb ass did. I put on a sweater and an Izod collar shirt so it looked nice. I took the picture and now I look back and go, God, they suckered me and I was too stupid. But then what's funny is at the end of that year is when I started growing my hair back. I mean, after that picture, I didn't cut my hair anymore. The next year I took my picture and my hair's your length.
Really?
So it's such a huge difference. And then I had my hair.
My hair would grow that fast.
My hair was your length for like 3 or 4 years.
See, I'm usually a short-haired girl, but
you're growing it out.
Well, my best friend is getting married in April, and I'm a bridesmaid, and so I want to be able to do something.
Yeah,
with my hair.
updo or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting my hair cut this Friday. Next week.
I was about to say today's Friday.
This is Friday, but next Friday.
Yeah. So we were actually. I was telling Scott before the show, I have to, after I leave here, I have to go check my kids out and go meet their dad up in Tennessee because they're going to be with him for the weekend. Mm-hmm. And my husband shared a stat or a thing with me this morning that I guess up there, a big thing is the distracted driving and the texting while driving. Georgia State Patrol or Tennessee State Patrol.
That sucks.
Has a truck, an 18-wheeler that it's not hiding, doesn't look like a normal, and it looks just like the State Patrol cars, same color and everything, but they will drive around, and if they look down and see you texting, they have lights and everything on the truck, they'll pull you over.
Right.
So I was like, note to self, when I drive up in Tennessee, keep my phone down.
That's a thing in Oklahoma too. And it's not, it used to be, they would give you a ticket if they stopped you for some other reason. Mm-hmm. Now it's the main reason they can pull you over. If they think you're texting while driving or even looking at your phone, you're not even supposed to, I guess, look at GPS because I use my phone for GPS.
So do I.
And they can pull you over if they think you're looking at your phone while driving and give you, it's like a $200 ticket.
Well, I know in Rockdale, it used to be like a 25, when it first came out, it was like a $25 ticket. It wasn't, maybe that's the seatbelts. One of them.
Seatbelts like 125.
And see me, I hold my phone when I drive just because I hold it.
Yeah.
Well, I fidget with it.
You're going to have to learn to put it down.
I'm waiting for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
It just depends on the cop that wants to, how much of an ace hole they want to be.
That's right.
But yeah, so he told me that this morning, and it's,
or it could be like when we were in the bus last week, and being in the bus, you can see down in cars.
Right.
And this white car pulls up. Through the sunroof, I see the dude with the 40 in his lap. The guy in the passenger seat's got his 40, and the guy in the back's got his joint. It was hilarious.
That's what it looks. I'm showing Scotty a picture of the 18-wheeler.
Yeah, you won't even know. You won't even realize that's a state patrol.
No, until it's behind you.
It's too late at that point.
Wow. So yeah, it's crazy.
That definitely ain't a chase vehicle.
Get in a high-speed chase after someone.
Yeah, so I say that's not a chase vehicle. We were reading each other's mind on that one. Like, you ain't chasing in that
that's
one.
When they call him back up. But I mean, it's crazy that it's crazy what they have to do to catch people doing stuff, or what they do to catch people doing.
And the
stuff.
bad thing is there's so many times that they'll get. I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but they'll get on this thing where it's like a kick. It's they get on a kick where, okay, today everybody we need to mess with people on their phones, and they're not messing with speeders.
Right.
But it's like
They become
come on, stop.
linear focused
Yes.
on one instead of looking at the whole picture. There are other people doing other crimes too that you should
That's
be
right.
working at.
Well, there's
Yeah.
that one that was huge for a while, and I think people were fighting it because it was a guy that looked like a cop that looked like he was working in construction.
Right.
And people that going through the construction zone,
They got me in
he'd call it
Massachusetts.
in and
$400 ticket during rush hour. Now, if you know
Mhm.
anything about Massachusetts, they have rotaries, which are these round circular. There's no stoplights, so you enter the rotary.
kind of like a
and-
roundabout.
Yes.
It's
It's
like a
Turner
roundabout.
Hill.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you have 6 different entrances to this rotary, and it's rush hour. We're all coming home. It's 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and one of the exits is from the highway, which is where I'm coming from. So people are.
So
coming
you're
pretty
really
fast.
traffic heavy on that
Right.
side.
Mhm.
And they are standing there. You can't. When you're coming in, you don't see that there's someone standing there. That
Because the
he's
cars
gonna
are
cross.
blocking it.
And then maybe about 2 blocks away is the group of police. So if you don't stop for the person standing there waiting on traffic,
You get a ticket.
yeah, $400 is what they
Man.
take.
See, and my thing is like, I'm all for you doing what you need to and everything, but some of these stings are really.
Well, put a stoplight up there.
Yes.
Just stop and let people cross.
And that's what
Well-
we like about they're redoing that Porterdale intersection for that.
Right.
How about this? And I'll say this more as a question form, but it's kind of more of a statement. I keep seeing people say that it's racial profiling to keep pulling Mexicans over.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, but isn't it kind of like a known fact at this point that
Well,
a high percentage of them don't have license?
well, yeah, and
Yeah,
let's
and
let's
illegal.
talk about that. If you're known for something, say I own a business, okay, and I sell widgets, and you are known to steal widgets, then I'm gonna look at you when you come in my widget
Mhm.
store.
Right.
I don't think that's racial profiling. We know, and we spoke about this. They spoke briefly on this at the Republican Party meeting, which I'm still in shock that I was at.
And you got to go when I didn't.
Your
man. It
Periscope
sucks.
cracked me up last night.
I wanted to be
I
there.
was rolling.
Man, I wanted to be there so bad.
Because
It was
she's like,
pretty good.
I'm not Republican.
Black,
I'm
and I'm a
lesbian.
I so want to be there. It's just nowadays, though, I think there's so many bigger issues than whether you're a Republican or Democrat. I think as long as we're
Yeah.
getting some issues fixed, let's deal with the issues
Right.
and forget if we're white, black, straight, lesbian, green, Martian.
Exactly.
Let's fix our problems.
If you're an alien, you got to be here legally. I don't
That's
care if
right.
you come from Mars or if you come
Just
from
get your paper.
another country. Yeah, absolutely. And it is a problem. It's a problem in Massachusetts where the insurance that I pay on my daughter's car in Massachusetts. So I carry the insurance on my 2 daughters and myself, and the niece carries her own insurance. Allie's 17, and
Mhm.
her insurance is cheaper for a brand new car on a 17-year-old than it is for my Stacy's 27 years old daughter with the 2013 bill.
Good God.
I pay for Stacy's auto insurance
Mm-hmm.
$362 a month.
That's like the whole family's amount.
It's more than what me and Allie's is together. And here's the
Wow.
problem. The problem is because you have so many uninsured motorists
Yeah.
and so many illegal people
Right.
living in Massachusetts driving.
Right.
So my question is, one, how do they get cars?
Right.
Okay. They can't register those cars without insurance
Mhm.
and without a driver's license, correct?
Right.
So if they're registering those cars in someone else's name, then and they have an accident, then that person that allowed them to register the car in their name is responsible. for
Yeah,
that
they're
accident.
responsible.
If they bought a car from a dealer or from a private owner and they haven't registered that vehicle and they have an accident, then guess who's responsible? The last person that owned that vehicle,
Yeah.
whether it's a dealer or whether it's a
That's
private
right.
owner. So we need to make the people be responsible for that, and that would stop a lot of this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because with that being said, when I back before I physically quit working for other companies, I was the supervisor, the English speaking supervisor in these subdivisions where the Mexicans were wiring the houses.
Right.
And one guy would be like the foreman over the Mexicans.
mhm,
And he would own the vehicles they drove. He owned all the tools they drove, and he paid them. He owned the trailers they lived in, everything. And my thought was this: I know he did it with cash, but how did he keep going and buying new cars?
Yeah.
And I mean, like roll up to Ford and buy a new Mustang with
Right.
cash. How did you get it registered?
he did. It did.
How did you get a tag?
Which brings me back to.
So how is he driving around? Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. If he's driving around and there's a tag on it, then who actually physically owns this car?
Somebody he registered in someone else's name.
So I'm just like, God, this blows my mind.
That's why they don't care if they get in an accident and they run, because they're not going to get in trouble. The person who's that car's registered.
Well, it's like the lady. It's like the lady that hit Chuck.
Right.
She committed a crime and he's dead. If they let her bail out, you do know she's not coming back, right? I mean, come on. You do know this.
No, she's not.
She's hauling ass.
She's hauling ass.
No,
Yeah, she's not coming back.
She's not coming back.
And that drives me nuts.
Keep her in there until.
Just don't keep her in there till nothing. You keep her.
Keep her in there. Well, until the trial, and then she's charged with something, and then she goes to prison.
Well, she gets out when the time's served.
And more than just that, that family deserves some compensation. So whoever allowed her the use of a vehicle, whether she paid for it or not, is responsible.
Whoever owns the physical vehicle is responsible.
Is responsible.
Right, and that's the thing is, if you go after her, you're not going to get anything from her.
No,
to compensate the family.
No. And she may go to prison. She may be deported, and she may be back. We don't know.
That's right.
Oh, she'll be. Yeah, they get deported all the time and come back.
Right.
So it's not.
It just the problem is we all need to start being held accountable, and it's not so much us as U.S. citizens as much as people with jobs that are in charge of all this. Right. You know, that's kind of like, I heard about how whoever the guy is for code enforcement that was, not respecting you as a citizen yesterday. First off, dude, you got a job in the county. So even if I stood up and said, I like to shove marshmallows in my crack, you have to listen to me.
Right.
Because your job says you do.
Well, okay. His first problem was it's obvious, I guess, the vibe that I get off that I wasn't Republican, and he really didn't know how to. I've dealt in these situations before where I entered a room of Caucasian people that didn't know how to take me. They didn't know me. They weren't comfortable around me. Didn't have that with you, Scott. When I met you, there was none of that vibe.
Yeah, because when I close my eyes, you sound no different than I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
except you probably talk proper English.
You enter into a room, and there's these preconceived notions. First off, he didn't want to get into a confrontation with me, so he chose to ignore me.
So he was trying to keep himself in a decent playground circle, and I'm not stepping out of this circle where I feel uncomfortable because I don't know what to say.
And he didn't know how to address me. He had in his mind, and this is just how I felt.
I wish I'd have been there.
He felt that I was going to be one of those quote unquote working at black women.
He probably also knew you were probably going to ask a question that he would have to give an answer for that he had no answer for.
Well, he gave excuses, and he knew what he was going to say wasn't going to fly with me. So he's like, okay, that's an angry black woman. So I'm going to turn my back and I'm going to address everything I'm saying to this side of the room.
And
I'm going to pretend not to see her hand raised. Of course,
thank God for Janice.
Janice made sure and he gave me the mic. And I think that's part of the problem with our cultures. You can't assume that someone is going to be some way. You'll never address my issue. You'll never hear what I have to say because you've already decided what type of person I am. Secondly, he didn't know anything about it. He was probably
what kind of boss
right
is he?
before it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another gentleman asked him, what are you doing? How come you haven't had a task force set up to deal with this? And he's, well, we've had conversation. Well, a conversation is not a task force.
Right.
So I think he walked up in there unaware of the situation, and then someone informed him right before. You know what I mean?
If that, or unless it was the first he had heard of that. Did he act surprised when you said something about it?
No, he didn't. He tried to be, he's a politician. He tried to be cool.
Right.
And he gave all of this nonsense information. He kept pushing this nonsense information. Well, this is a real estate or a resident property issue, and then he started pointing out like he was passing the buck. Well, if it's parking, then it's police, and if it's this, then it's code enforcement. And
that's
passing the buck around.
That's where nobody wanted to hear my words on the you have violations of parking at this point.
Right.
Because if you're parking more than 6 inches from a curb, then you are
In violation.
illegally parked. If you've now crossed the road and you're aiming the wrong direction on that side of the road and you're parked to the curb, you are illegally parked.
Right.
And the way Oz wanted to say it, well, you're in a subdivision and you're dealing with homeowner residencies. No, you're not. You're dealing with an illegal bed and breakfast is what you're dealing with. Right. You're dealing with an illegal bread and breakfast with illegal parking.
Right. Right.
Well, and we were talking about the whole trash in your yard and everything.
Yes.
And Academy Sports has small deer cameras you can set up and put it in their motion activated. So if
somebody's walking out there dumping
if somebody's coming out there,
at least you get pictures.
Yeah. I mean, and we may even have one at the house.
Well, Allie made probably the best suggestion. She says, why don't we just go to a party?
Well, did you hear what I said a little while ago?
Actually, I was out getting coffee. So
let's look at it this way. As a homeowner, if I come knocking on your door and I'm harassing you and you say leave and I refuse to leave, by about the third time, you actually then have grounds to call the police. You've told me 3 times to leave. If I don't leave, the police will lock me up for criminal trespassing.
Right.
Okay. But that's you as a homeowner or a leaseholder.
Right.
Nobody at this party is either one of those.
Exactly.
So I can go knock on that door. And then I can walk off and go stand in the street, and you can go knock on that door. And then you can go stand in the street, and then Denise can go knock on that door. And eventually something's going to be irritated. Number 2, I can stand out there in the street. I can't go on their property to do what I'm fixing to say, but I can stand in their street and videotape everybody that walks from the street to that house.
Well, civil disobedience works.
That's 100% in public.
Right.
You're on a public street.
Not just that, but if I'm standing on your property trying to video inside your window, that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If I'm standing on my property or in public and you're walking in your front yard, that's not illegal. I can videotape that.
Well,
so I can videotape every single Jaguar with every tag number. I can videotape everybody that walks from it. And the fact that we have already been told, whether this is rumor or not, we've already been told that this is a swingers party. Because we've already heard that a friend has been there. So not my friend, but a friend of a friend has been to these swinger parties, and that's what it is, which explains why nobody sees anybody outside. All the partying is inside the house.
Exactly.
Because it's a swingers party.
Yeah, because that's illegal outside.
Well, they can swing a little more quieter, and they can swing a little more cleaner,
Right.
You what you want to do in your personal life is your business, just as long as it stops at your front door.
Right.
So all of these bright lights, like what we saw 2 weekends ago, where they had the whole back area lit up, it's unfair to the neighbor next to them, and it's unfair when it's affecting the bedroom. We're down the street.
So then what we need to do is go to the neighbors, have permission to set up in their backyard, and videotape everything that's going on in the neighbor's backyard.
You have permission.
Because as long as I'm not standing over and trying to look over the privacy fence, if I can clearly see into that backyard, then it's not illegal for me to video.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was one politician, and she told me she wasn't a politician anymore, Janice, that if I would be a Republican, I would vote for her.
She is all about this community. It sucks that she got voted out of office, but she is and still will be, is and still will be 100% about trying to do what's right for our community.
I believe that. I believe that.
And that's the whole reason she threw this. I don't want to call it an emergency meeting, but it was kind of thrown together really fast. She needed to get it and have a meeting, and she did. She did. And here she is. She's not even a county commissioner anymore, but yet she did.
And she had a lot of politicians walk up.
She did what our commissioners should have done. Right. Our chairman, his lazy ass, should have been doing this. He should have held this meeting.
Oz was there, and Oz said the same thing that he's been saying over and over. So I want to know when the next meeting that the commissioners have, and I'm going to come up there
next Tuesday.
I
believe it's every Tuesday.
At 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. So I'll leave the show, or we'll cut the show off at 9:30, and they'd cut us off a half hour early. That would give us time to get there.
Yeah, let's go, because he keeps saying we need to do that. Well, then let's do it, and we'll call him out on that. Okay. And I'm also going to text him on the next time that there's a party going on. So it's not every weekend. but it's disruptive enough that when the family that lives next door to this gentleman and his wife, an elderly couple, they've worked their whole lives. They've paid for their home. They've raised children in this community. They do not deserve that. Okay. And they've lived there longer than Anise has lived on that street.
Right.
So they don't deserve that.
Right.
And the gentleman is sick.
He's an
so he
elderly
can't fight for
gentleman.
himself.
Right.
Right. So we'll fight for him. Okay?
That's right.
We'll fight for him.
Well,
And
you know what?
That's what community does.
Well, let's look at it this way. We know they're running a business.
Mm-hmm.
If this gentleman who lives next door, like I said, I'll use your bull crap against you. So if this gentleman that lives next door decides that we want to have a get well soon party, I can take a 26-foot bus and park it in front of the house next door, and I can fill those streets up with all of our people, and we'll just have a party at a get well soon for Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle of the party next door.
What you bet they'll show up?
I bet you everybody will show up then. Everybody will show up because they'll be like, them just for fun people are fixing to start war. But you know what? It's a war that our county people should have already started, stopped, been done with.
Right. And taken seriously.
Take it serious.
Part of the problem is they're not taking it seriously.
That's right.
I've
already had threats now towards me where the county may come after me. I'm like, what you going to come after me for?
Yeah. Well, he said,
come on. I got a good lawyer.
He said, it's no different than if I, pointing to himself, had a party in my home, one weekend and invited a bunch of friends over. How's that any different? And I said, well, first off, you're not going to have 70 or 80 cars blocking the street. He said, well, you don't know that. So I told him, I said, I don't care. I don't know if you don't care about your community that you live in, that you would be that disrespectful to your neighbors. But where I come from, we respect each other. So, we'll have a party.
But regardless, these people are advertising
and bringing
their parties, and they're showing where it costs to get in to the party.
Sell alcohol, which another person pointed out was illegal. As illegal as if they were selling crack out of their home.
It is, because without a government-issued license to sell alcohol, you are illegal. You are committing a crime.
Right.
That's where when I made the comment, and somebody didn't like hearing it, that alcohol, firearms, and tobacco, which is called the ATF, should go raid this house.
Well, and would we get that done? Probably not.
Probably not.
I think honestly, and I'll put this out there on the air, I don't care what anybody says about it, but I think that our elected officials are afraid of this person, are afraid of their attorney, are afraid of their money. But I want you to understand is you have our money. And if you don't want to do the job for our money, then quit and go work for his money.
Right.
But as long as you're working with our money.
Or quit double dipping and working for our money and his money.
Well, I don't know that to be true, but it's possible.
Well, I'm not saying that as an opinion. I'm saying that is we've had several phone calls from people saying, do we think there's some payoffs going on? I said, I can't say there is. I don't know. I don't know.
But there's a reason they won't act.
But why? Yeah. Why are we not
there and tell
it?
me that, there's legislation that's going all the way to the Supreme Court of other neighborhoods that have this problem. And there's just simply nothing we can do now. Our county attorney is not willing to do. Well, who pays the county attorney?
That's right.
I couldn't go to my job, if I worked at 7-Eleven, and say, I'm not willing to sell a slushie to a customer. Okay. It's your job.
But the bad part is through past experiences with people that's come to us and told us stuff, code enforcement has been prejudiced on them, like harassing them, but not harassing neighbors with the very same problem. So if you can let and this is just a comment, just me as an opinion, just an opinion, everybody, let's not get our panties in a wad. But if you can, and this is my opinion, if you can go to neighbor A and be friends with them, and go to neighbor B and harass neighbor B who has exactly what A has. If you can be prejudiced and do that, then that shows that you can be an a-hole. So if you can
be in the position you're in.
Right. So if you can do that and harass normal people, why not go after this cat that good and well is illegally doing these things?
It's money.
Just harass them. Just harass them. No different than you're harassing the poor people.
Whether they're taking a handout or not from this person, they're afraid of this person because he has money. And I'm sorry, you have the money of the citizens of Rockdale County behind you.
You're going to lose that a lot faster than you lose.
Exactly. You're
money.
gonna.
I just love it. I just love because the phone calls that have come through, like, dude, you know, you're pissing them off, and I'm like, yeah.
Who cares?
What are they gonna do to me?
Don't. Okay, I'm gonna tell them. Don't be pissed off.
Just do your
Listen
job.
to what we're saying.
Yeah.
And work for the citizens that are paying the taxes. And it's not that we're paying your salary, it's that you took an oath to do a job. Okay. It's not like I'm signing your paycheck. You stood up there, held your hand up, placed a hand on the Bible, took an oath to do a job to represent the citizens of this county. That's the reason you don't get angry. That's the reason you listen to our concerns. And that's the reason you take action. And even if you don't think that's the right action, it's what your citizens say is right for them. It's not about you.
Right.
And you're taking this personal. It's only personal when you're sitting up in your bedroom and banging loud, rump shaking, booty dropping music is going on at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's the other thing is
personal.
how come the police will not come out, because there is the noise ordinance.
Well, the problem is the police don't know what they're supposed to do. And that comes back to our leadership.
Yeah, but the problem is if you called me, you called me and said, Scott, I need you to turn the music down outside, and I refuse, you then call the police knock on my door and say, you're breaking the noise ordinance, you need to cut it down or have to cite you.
Right.
If they can do that to me as a normal citizen, then why can't they do that at this party?
Because they know there's a lot more going on and they don't want to get their hands dirty.
Yeah. And that's a lack of leadership.
I think that's what the reason
is. A lack of leadership. Our elected officials.
So in your opinion,
my opinions are just like buttholes.
Right, but in your opinion, you're saying you don't believe that.
And buttholes are useful for something, so are opinions.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's my honest opinion, is that they don't want to say anything because they know that they'll find a lot of illegal crap going on, and they don't want to get their hands dirty.
See,
well, that's your job,
or they're getting paid off not to.
But you know, there may be one or two police officers that agrees with me and wants to do something about it. And then we get into this whole, well, we don't buck the system.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get your hands dirty. Well, you know what? You're a police officer. If you have to be the only one to stand up and do the right thing, I will respect you more than I will respect the other 5 that you work with or the other 10 that you work with. Okay. And police deserve respect, but you don't deserve respect if you don't do your job, if you don't follow the law, because that's what you're placed in a position to do. Right.
It just blows my mind that I know if I'm out here revving my motor up, making all sorts of noise, because if I'm correct, I don't remember for sure, but I think it is if they can hear you clearly from more than 150 feet away,
right,
that's breaking the noise ordinance. So what gets me is if you can do that, if you can stop a car at a red light and say your stereo's too loud and they can cite you, if you can knock on my door and tell me that I'm not supposed to be shooting fireworks off at this point in time,
right,
if you can come knock on my door and tell me your neighbors have been complaining y'all are too loud, keep it down, then why is this not being dealt with?
Because they're afraid of this guy. They're afraid of this man's money.
And
I'm calling them out on it. I think you
smart
guys are scared. And I don't know why you're scared. Okay. Money. Well, I'm not afraid of money. I enjoy money. I think money is helpful. It's useful. Okay. It should be on everyone's dining room table. But the problem is you are chickens. All of them.
And then how about this from a listener? With the saying that you've heard, which is rumor, third party. If we've heard that it is a swingers party and you have to pay to get in, then why is that not involving a prostitution sting, since it would be considered a prostitution ring?
Right. There are so many avenues that they could look at it.
Well, we know ATF can get involved for the alcohol part. Right. We know the police and all can be involved on a lot of other reasons. We already know that they're sending invites out and telling you how to pay to get in.
And the occupancy is way over.
Yeah, man.
Whatever for.
Right.
And then it questions how many are underage teens that could possibly be in there as well.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
it didn't say they were IDing at the door.
That's right.
Hopefully they get this whole task force going. That
gentleman, and I wish I'd have got his name. He was really nice.
We
he
can find
introduced
him,
himself to me. He was an older guy. He said he was a second VP.
Yeah, it's on the Periscope. So if you listen to the Periscope, he says his name on it.
He's second VP. What?
He said he was second VP.
Vice chair.
Of what?
Or he was first vice chair.
Of what?
The commission. I don't know. Scotty, these were
Hold on.
Republicans. I don't know who they are. So there was a black guy
Do you
who
want me to go
was second
listen to
VP.
it so I can?
Okay, there was a black guy who was second.
You can't
VP,
right now. You have
and
to
then
wait till
there was the white guy who was the first VP, first chair. And then there was do they have pictures of him? Because I remember his face. He was a really nice guy. So you saw the black guy on my
Yeah.
okay, he was second. So then there was the guy that was over him.
Oh wait, it went away already. What the heck? Oh wait, no, never mind. It's right there.
Yeah, I don't see him. But there was a sitting senator, and then there was another gentleman from Atlanta.
See this guy here.
He was there.
That guy right there.
Yeah,
So
he
you
was
keep
there.
talking to. That's the one that did the airsoft stuff. He kind of runs the chamber.
Okay, he was there, and he's the one that pointed out that they were running like a bed and breakfast business.
Yes, and that's exactly right.
Yeah, and I liked him. Big guy, booming voice, got their attention.
Yeah, he's ex-military too.
Definitely. Yeah,
I used to hang out with him back in the day.
In fact, I want to take Niles out there to shoot some of those weapons. Let's see. But this was an older gentleman, and he came up to me and introduced himself. I don't know if I got him on podcast. I might have. But the first was the black guy, and he was second chair. And then there was the older white gentleman who said that they needed to do a task force on this.
Earl Wise. Wasn't that it? I think it was Earl Wise.
Was
who? It might have been
the chair-elect.
Earl Wise. Yeah, him. Yeah. Yes.
And he's who?
He was the one that said that they needed to do a task force on it. You know,
the one that came up to you. I believe that's him.
All right, well, let's find out.
The black guy. What was his name?
I think that was Earl Wise because I remember.
Yeah, let's see if we can see these people.
No, couldn't find that name.
Mm-hmm. So there's a second VP, and titles don't mean anything to me. I don't know who you are.
Right. Well, it just stinks. All of it. All of it just stinks because it's like, come on, man.
Okay, no, that's the black guy or Wise. That's him right there. No.
No, I'm just double checking all of them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So now they actually had a black lady. She called herself a black conservative. Yeah. No, that's not
Nope.
him.
We'll figure it out though. We will find out.
She called herself a black conservative, and she was speaking to the Republican Party about what they can do for the 2016 elections and how they needed to change their message. And she got me, and I would vote Republican, but then she lost me on a couple of things. First thing she said was that they only needed to cater to one in five black people. Well, I don't like that. Okay, at all. So the goal is for Republicans.
Well, here though in Rockdale, and I see why they're saying that, and I guess that's because, and I'm not knocking you, but it's because you just got back here. Is unfortunately like when Jimmy Carter came. When Jimmy Carter came, we went to the Democratic House, and I listened to some very, very, very disturbing things.
Right.
In my opinion, this is my opinion. In my opinion, what I heard was if you're black, you're supposed to vote D. And that's what was said in front of us. And we're just kind of like,
right.
So that's where if we could at least get 1 out of 5, because the problem is it's like a good old boy club, like used to back in the day, if you weren't the Southern gentleman shaking hands with the other Southern gentleman. But what we stood in there and watched, I literally was so uncomfortable when we walked in with our Just for Fun hat on. I mean, there was only a select few of white folks in there, but when we walked in and I had on my hat and my hoodie, it had my name on it. Mm-hmm. I saw elected officials in our government turn, stare me down, whisper, and they had somebody come stand next to me.
Really?
Right.
In case I was to say something, they were going to escort me out of there. And I watched the good old boy system happen right in front of me. Me and Flying Brian.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Yep.
I mean,
they were fixing to walk us out of there. They had 2 big dudes come stand on both sides of us while I was videoing.
I had that happen
so
in
that
church.
they could escort me out of there.
They wanted if we didn't put the money in the little thing that comes by, they come stand next to you, and that pressure there to put.
I just got
throw all your money in your pocketbook.
Earl is on the board of Governor's Chamber of Commerce. He works for the Bank of North America, Georgia.
Okay.
Or no, Bank of North Georgia. Sorry.
I'll on break. I'll pull it up because I remember you.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
came up
One
and
of our very
introduced
Had a
smart
gray shirt
listeners.
on,
I'm protecting the
older
name,
gentleman,
but
white hair. Yeah.
this gentleman
He's a
can
good guy.
find more stuff than we ever know. Like I said, there's a lot of people.
Well, I'll
That's
get
the
you-
catch. There's
I'll
a
get
lot of
you-
people that listen that you don't realize listening. Like some of the people that we're not happy with are listening.
Right.
And I know
And
they
that's
are.
fine. And I first off, don't get caught up in your feelings. This is not personal. Until you have to sit in your bedroom listening to boom, bump, shaking music, and none of you guys at that meeting listen to that kind of music. Even though I listen to it, it's not any fun at 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's not personal, guys.
But you listen to it at a respectful level,
and within my own home, if I choose to listen to that music,
right?
But and it wouldn't be any different if it was country music blasting all night. It's just
Respect.
yes, disrespectful. But this is not personal. I'm not.
But I just don't understand that if I get phone calls, and not that I do, but I'm saying I know from where I lived previous, I would get in trouble. Like literally, we would be all hanging out, drinking, having a good time on the back patio where my hot tub is, and my neighbors would yell out 3 or 4 times, "Scotty, you need to stop. You need to stop." Now, my neighbors that were left to right of me were super cool. The people behind me were a-holes.
Right.
I mean, their dogs barked all the time.
Right.
So because I raised hell about the dogs, anytime they could send the police to my house for us being too loud, they did. So the cops are like, "Scotty, we've already been here, blah, 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 blah. If we come back, we're going to have to write you." What?
You didn't hear that?
Your grandma.
It's grandma.
Nuh-uh. But yeah, that's the problem is if we can be cited as normal citizens, then why can't you write something on this character?
That's true. So they don't need to take it personal.
Just do your job.
Yeah. And maybe you don't know what your job is. And maybe I don't know what your job is, but I know we could come together and decide it's not, these are the citizens of this county, and your citizens of your county are unhappy, and they're not living a peaceful life because of an outsider has decided to come in and change the whole fabric of the neighborhood. And that's not fair.
Toby Dryer.
Toby Dry.
Yeah, I just got that too.
Yeah.
What is it? Is that? Oh,
that was the
okay.
gentleman that she was talking about.
Sorry, I didn't know when it said Toby Dryer a minute ago. I didn't know until I just now looked down again.
Well, he had a point. Get a task force together.
Yeah.
You need someone from the sheriff's office. You need someone from the fire department. You need someone from code enforcement, and you need a citizen from the neighborhood.
And here's the thing too: if they're serving food and beverages, and you're paying to get in, this becomes a health department issue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
so it's like, do you know how many departments can get involved here?
Right. No one wants them to stop being able.
There's a banquet hall right up the road. Go rent that.
I don't want them to stop being able to rent their home. What I want is the homeowner to be responsible for what goes on in the home.
Yep. Well, look, let's shut off the commercial real quick.
All right.
It's a pay break. Everybody,
pay
break. We'll be right back.
Break.
Well, we get on these good topics and start going and going and going, and then it is nothing bad, but and we're making you think. Everybody needs to open their eyes. These are your towns, and we're never going to get back our towns if we as citizens don't start taking control of our own towns.
Did you say we need weed?
Oh my God. On that note,
well, I wouldn't be surprised if they're selling weed there too. All right, y'all. We'll be right back.
I'm peeing first.
You better hurry.
I got my juice yesterday, so after this pack, I'm gonna start.
What juice? Oh, okay. Good. Excellent.
I got an experiment from one of the places, and then I got it because I got 40 milligrams nicotine, and it didn't taste because the one in the store was 0
nicotine.
So
right.
It was all spearmint.
Right.
And I didn't like the spearmint, so I went back to the place I usually go to and got the red dog.
Right. I'm going to tell you, don't try to smoke what is regular cigarettes because you're not going to like it.
Well, see, this was spearmint. I've never had cigarettes.
Right.
I thought I'd like it.
It's menthol, though. It's kind of like menthol. Spearmint. Yeah. I need a wrap, Crystal. Can you get rid of this? Like, take this and put it back here. Yeah, that's where I need this to go, right back here. So I need a miracle wrap. I'm talking to Crystal. A miracle wrap that will take this and put it back here.
That wrap stuff she's been using has worked. And the drinks that she's drinking is actually helped. Because she said that this part that's bothered her so much is now slimming
down.
Like she was wearing a pair of pants that she put on last night. She said, look, nothing's coming over.
no muffin top.
So
I got more than a muffin top. I have a cake top. This is a wedding cake top.
Man, I tell you, when my little girl was born, I got fat here. And no matter how much weight I lost, I never got rid of it. And I was watching something not too long ago. It was kind of a documentary. And they're explaining that a lot of the fat that you get here isn't the fat like you would have in your butt.
Right.
They're saying you can work a lot of fat off your body, but some of this you can't get rid of. And that's why some of these people just have to go to get the stuff done.
Have you ever seen that done?
God, I've watched it.
It's hard.
Kind of yucky.
And it smells bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But if you want it, I support your decisions if you want it.
Yeah. Is it time to go back home?
No, I was letting the song play. I was just getting this out of my way because I ended up smacking it around.
Anise is going to pay for me plastic surgery. I'm going to get some more booty and let's go.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Sometimes I got to think that you guys watching get stuck with like a lot of boring stuff, but there's not a whole lot I can do. Like I keep saying that I'm going to provide a supplement background video, but the problem is that's just one more thing I got to control. Everybody wants to see behind the scenes, and this is how you see it, Huh? You're refilling the wine?
He's the first vice chairman.
Yeah, I just got a picture. Did you?
Well, no.
Is this the guy? Is this the guy you're talking about?
No.
Okay. I just got this picture. This is the Earl Wise guy. He's a wise guy, I tell ya.
You're drinking that stuff is so good.
Isn't it?
No.
So this is one of the guys. We just got this sent to us.
Was that one of them there last night?
That's the cool thing. When people talk,
He might have
listeners start throwing out info.
He might have been there, but that wasn't the one that talked to me, that spoke to
Okay.
me.
It's Earl. It was Toby Dreyer.
Yeah.
He's the first vice chairman. I just rewatched your video.
Is he the guy that we're talking about?
The cool one,
The
one of
one-
the
Yeah.
task force?
That's it. Yeah,
Yes.
the task force.
It's
All right, hold on.
Toby, yeah, Toby.
Hold on. Let me go to Facebook. Toby what?
Dreyer, like a dryer, Dry.
Yes, he did. Like a dry. That's what he told me his
Yeah.
name was. You're absolutely right.
He's the first vice chairman for the Republican Party.
I don't know if that's him. Of course, I can't see.
Dreyer, Dry.
I know. I see that.
Yeah,
now.
he said like a dryer. That's right. Now that you say that, I remember. He's an older guy.
You might not have Facebook. Google him.
Yeah, he's an older guy. He might not be on Facebook. He's still on MySpace.
Yeah.
I like that song that's playing.
Whoa! Look at
Wow, I'm glad the viewers can't see that.
I would definitely say that's not him.
That's not him.
Can you put it back on there though?
Put like Georgia.
Sure, you
No,
need
I
to see
really
something
want to
for a
see
second.
that.
Which one do you want to see? That?
Oh wow. Oh my goodness.
Look at
That
it.
assaults me.
Here, how about
look at that
how about
one.
I just give you that one, Denise?
That-
Does that
that-
do it for you?
That
No,
assaults
it
me too. I'm assaulted.
Oh wow!
Oh wait, what was that other one? Hold on.
There you go, Benny.
Oh no, I thought that had
Her name
That looks
is
like
not
Miley
Toby
Cyrus.
No,
Dry.
that did look like Miley.
Type in Georgia.
What
by
the?
his
Why
name.
did you say that?
Those don't exist. Let's see.
What about Conyers?
Yeah,
Toby Dreyer, Conyers, Georgia.
Yeah.
That's not him.
that's not him, definitely. But you're right.
Oh
His
yeah,
last
'cause
name
we're
was
going for the
Dry.
other guy.
You're typing Conyers.
You type like I do. Well,
What sucks is before I had my iPhone, my BlackBerry and this keyboard was identical, so it was the same. And then for some reason, it
here he
doesn't work
is,
the same.
62.
Go to that My Life right
That's
there.
62. That's him.
Yep, that's him.
Okay, so now that's
All
the
right, we're
that's
back.
the I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, that's the guy that was hosting the meeting. So
Okay.
this was another guy. He definitely was there. He's a nice guy. Yes.
So him and Janice have thrown this together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Janice set it up, and he was like the MC one time, and he was really nice. He did come up and talk to us and the kids, and he told me he was a black conservative, and I liked him. I liked him, but there was another gentleman that works with him. So he's the second chair, the second VP, and then there's the first VP that works with him.
And what were VP of what?
Of whatever they do.
Of whatever they do.
The vice. He was the vice chairman of the Republican Party. So
Yes.
The other one was the chairman of the
Republican
Republican Party.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah. So hey, it's
So now he
Democrats
says
don't go by that.
he says he's conservative. I don't know is why I'm asking these questions.
Yeah, he's
So
a black
if-
conservative.
So if you're a conservative, are you Republican?
Yes, he's Republican too.
Okay, see,
So-
I don't know all this stuff.
They
I'm
believe-
learning government.
Okay, so black conservatives are the party of Lincoln, the party of Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Okay, so what people don't realize is in the 1964 with the Civil Rights Act is when the Republican Party changed and lost a lot of African Americans because the Dixiecrats were against the Civil Rights Act. Once Lyndon Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act, all the Dixiecrats went to the Republican Party.
Okay.
So that's where you started losing your African Americans. So before, my mother, my father, and all of those guys were Republicans until that act. My generation, which I was born in 1967, grew up Democrat simply because of the Civil Rights Act and because Southern Dixiecrats did not, which were considered racist back then,
Right.
did not want the Civil Rights Act. So when their party went for which was Lyndon Johnson, went for the Civil Rights Act, they jumped ship.
Okay,
So that's what changed the Republican Party.
so since you're from up north, so to speak, right?
Midwest.
Midwest. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, because you're Oklahoma. I
Right.
was thinking when you said your daughters were your daughters. So
Yeah, they
anyways,
live. Yeah.
So if we look at this, and this is a question, so if we're looking at this saying, oh, because of the Southern people that went Republican, is that why a lot of the blacks in the South are Democrat? But in the rest of the United States, why are we assuming, and I'm assuming, not y'all, but why am I assuming, and maybe some listeners, that the rest of the black community would be Democrat?
Well, it's simply because of who ushered in the civil rights. JFK.
So that changed the period.
Right. They were Democrats.
Nationwide, not just
exactly.
the South. Okay,
So
that's
JFK
what I'm trying to make sense of.
started this process
Okay.
with Martin Luther King, and Martin Luther King and JFK were killed. And what people don't realize, Lyndon Johnson was actually the president that signed the Civil Rights Act, and they were the Democratic Party. The ideology of the Republican Party has always been the Republican Party always had what we would call our most black people, our African Americans would agree with the initial Republican Party, the conservative, physical responsibility, be responsible for yourself, get a job, that was always a Republican standard, but it changed somehow when the Civil Rights Act happened.
See, we need somebody who is non-biased to one side or the other, not influenced by money, not influenced by anything, to make a documentary to say exactly facts and facts only of what has caused all this crap. Because there's so many people that have their reasons for being Democrat, but they can't actually explain it.
Well, that's what started.
So
my generations, we're 48. I'm 1967. I'm 48 years old. This is a long time since the Civil Rights Act happened, 60 years. So a lot of people that were part of it, part of the voting process, are no longer here. They've passed
Right.
away, such as my mother and father. So there's no one to tell that story anymore. So everybody thinks all black people have to be Democrats. Well, that's not true. We didn't
Right,
start
but
out as
that's what I'm
Democrats.
saying. What you're saying, that we need a real version, because I think people, again, I sat in a Democratic building just because I wanted to see the ex-president Jimmy Carter, and words, in my opinion, I felt as if all the words used were all in cloak and dagger BS.
Right.
Vote D, vote D, vote D, vote D, vote D.
But see, my thing is, in my opinion, is that they push you so much to pick a side that you can't be in the middle. They push you. They want you to pick this side or this side.
You and I are closer to our beliefs than they want us to think. So what they use is they drive this wedge in between us to make us afraid. For instance, like she pointed out, her name was Camilla Moore, by the way, and she has a book, Being a Black Conservative. So, and I bought the book last night. So if you guys would go to the internet and look up Camilla Moore author, you will find her book. So what she says is they use things that are triggers for a particular race. For instance, voting rights. Well, we know, we've all heard, as an African-American person, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, all of them sitting in for their voting rights. My mom sat in Oklahoma to have the right to vote. So that's a trigger for me. So if you say to me, they're going to take your constitutional right away to vote, that's going to get me to the polls.
Yes.
Because I'm going to vote. On the flip side of that,
it's like waving a shot of alcohol in front of an alcoholic. They're doing whatever it takes to get you.
So on the flip side of that, now that's the Democrats. And then they tell you that there's no hope. We give you hope. And yet that hope that they give us is not sufficient enough. No one, I don't care who you are, lives a good life on food stamps and a check every month.
Right.
Okay, so that's not hope, but we're giving you something. So they keep you trapped in those beliefs.
That's right.
Now, on the flip side of that, what they do to Republicans is they make you think that you're going to lose something. Okay, that they're taking something away from you, and that makes you afraid. Or something even worse, like my right to marry. Let's put that up. When George Bush was elected into office, I liked him. I was in Texas. He was the governor of Texas. I actually liked the guy. Okay. And I hope my family's not listening. I actually voted for George Bush the first time he ran. Okay. So then they did this weird thing in the second election saying legalize gay marriage and make the states write into their constitution that marriage is between a man and a woman. So that got a lot of Republicans, it made their sacks draw up, and they ran to the polls to vote in order for George Bush to win the second term. And it worked. So what we have to stop and think and stop allowing them to use these triggers to make us against us. My marriage to a niece doesn't affect you and Crystal's love.
That's what I try to get when people say to me, and this is years back on the construction site, somebody'd say, well, you know, that guy's gay. I went, what he does doesn't affect me.
How he swings a hammer.
Well, and if he's doing his job, why does it?
And
I mean, like, you sleep with prostitutes and you think I need to worry about him being gay? Like you're cheating on your wife every chance you get, and I need to worry about this guy.
Those are triggers to get us to take sides.
Yeah, but I need to vote jackass because I don't want to vote I don't want to vote Democrat because I don't want the Democrats to think I care that much about them. I don't want to vote Republican because I don't want them to think I'm voting for them. How about I have somebody that just says, let's fix America and screw sides.
And I've never met a white person that didn't want me to vote. Most of them are encouraging me to vote. I don't care what their political.
I think everybody needs to vote.
So this is what I'm trying to
feel
point
this
out
way. I do now.
To us. We have to stop letting these triggers. Okay, we have to. There's a boogeyman in the corner, and you must be afraid. And if you don't vote for me, that boogeyman is going to get you. That's both parties.
I got a baseball bat. Come on over here and let's see if you are that scary.
I'm not afraid of the boogeyman. I just turn on the lights.
That's right. You know,
which is one of our favorite songs.
Speaking about that, they had the woman in, where is it? The one that would refused to give because of her religious beliefs. Kim Davis.
Yeah, Kim Davis.
She was arrested. Yeah, she's in jail now.
Yeah, she's been married 4 times and had 2 children, twins.
Well, she's a
all right, now
while married to another guy.
From a listener, 2 different comments. talking about Democrats, it says they've destroyed inner city schools. They keep the blacks in poverty. They keep them all on the government payroll. Very few inner city kids will ever get out of poverty because the Democrats refuse to improve the schools. Then a second part is, I don't know a single Republican, and this is him saying he doesn't know a single Republican. So I don't want anybody getting butt hurt. I don't know a single Republican that's opposed with gay marriage. I know a lot of them. The party demographically is changing rapidly.
Right.
And she indicating, Benny, she is a libertarian rather, and doesn't realize it.
Well, my son tells me I'm a libertarian. I refuse to be that because he told me so. So that's a battle between
because
me and my son.
I am learning government. I used to hate government, and I still do, but I know no matter how much my hatred for government is, I know I have an obligation to try to help better my community. Right. Even if it's irritating. Okay, it's real simple. I hate having anthills all in my backyard.
Right.
I could stay in my house and not give a crap about it.
Right.
But my granddaughter has to walk through that backyard.
Exactly.
Now, do I need to get a paintbrush and paint y'all an image of what I just said? I may stay in my house and hide from these irritating ants because it doesn't affect me on the inside. But my daughter has to walk through that yard. My granddaughter, the baby, my baby that we take care of has to be able to go outside this house and has to walk through that backyard. So what does that mean? That means I got to do whatever I got to do to make it safe.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
Right. And we don't need government to tell us what the right thing is to do.
Well, it's supposed to be us
telling the government.
But
we've allowed it.
We've allowed it way too long.
And it's not just not voting. It's simply not being active.
So explain to me then what a libertarian is.
Well, I don't know what a libertarian is. He's right. I don't know it. My son is. A libertarian is 6'7", 275-pound black man, bald.
I'll Google it.
No, I think a libertarian is less government or no government in our personal lives, and I would agree with that because. Well,
so basically, then when let me just, and this is my impression, when our Constitution was written, maybe all those were libertarians, because it seems like when Constitution was written, the government was smaller and was just trying to say, let's make a better world. And now they have their hands in way too many cookie jars.
Well, they have their hands in way too many cookie jars because of the power of money.
The philosophy behind libertarian
is
a person who believes in the doctrine of free will.
I do believe God gives you free will
on a boat to get away from a queen or a king who was trying to rule and tell us how it had to be. That's why we came to the free land.
Right.
Golly, people.
Well, maybe I don't know what our founding fathers were. I don't believe they were Republicans or Democrats. There were so many parties before. There were like the Whigs and. I went to public school. Let's speaking of public schools. First off, it's not the government that makes our public schools bad. It really isn't.
Right.
It's the parents of these children. If you are not active in your child's life and in the school and what's going on in the school, and I'm not just talking PTA. I'm talking every day sitting down with your child and finding
parenting at home
what happened at school and what he needs to learn, making contact with the teacher. Okay, what did you teach him today and what do they need to come back knowing, and continuing that education over the summer. See, a lot of times we get caught up in our jobs and then our free time to go party, we're not spending that extra time with our children, and then they're going to public school and you got a teacher trying to manage 30 crazy, hyped up, caffeine drinking children. They're allowing kids to drink caffeine. My mom wouldn't give us coffee when we were little.
Yeah, I was Kool-Aid. I only snuck Cokes.
The kids aren't given a bedtime. Right. They don't. You need to go to sleep so you can learn. They're going to school tired and grouchy, and they don't want to do what the teacher says. And then when the teacher's trying to get some control of the classroom, then you got, and it's on both sides. You got some mama walking up in there. You can't tell my baby what to do. Well, yes, I can. I'm trying to educate him. And if you don't want him to have an education, take him out of school. That's what's failing in our schools is the parents.
Yeah.
Not the government. Now, these teachers do deserve to be paid. the schools need supplies. The government should be putting some dollars into it. And there should be a basic level of education that all kids should know. They need to know what 2 + 2 is. They need to know how to spell their names. And then outside of that, we should set the curriculum for what our children needs to know in our respective areas. You know, if you want your child to go on to college, then he needs to know a lot more.
This. Just for fun.
Hey, Scotty, this is David. Real
Hi,
quick,
David.
just to answer your question, what a libertarian is. A libertarian is somebody who it's all about personal responsibility. If your neighborhood wants to sit in their house and smoke weed, as long as it's not bothering you, it's not a problem. You know, they don't want the government to go out and spend every dime you make, only to do what they have to do.
I agree. Now, you cannot govern morality. I'm sorry. You cannot put a fine on someone's moral beliefs. I may believe that marijuana is a gift from the spirit gods. You cannot fine me for that because you don't believe marijuana is a gift from the spirit gods. And that's where we make the mistakes with laws. We're trying to make laws to govern moralities.
So there's a difference between somebody sitting in the house smoking some rheumatism medicine versus the guy with 4 kilos trying to sell it.
Right.
Well, it's a business.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. There's the difference. So,
Right.
so in an aspect of saying this, if somebody's just sitting at home, not bothering anybody, I know having possession of pot's illegal. That's in
Georgia it is.
Right, but
Yes.
what I'm saying is smoking your joint versus trying to traffic 4 kilos down the expressway. Bigger difference of a crime. So
Same thing with
libertarians
alcohol,
are saying,
same
listen,
thing with cigarettes.
right?
Okay, why are we legislating, and we're going to get on the marijuana, why are we legislating marijuana, saying that you cannot have it because it's dangerous,
Right.
when cigarettes are even more dangerous?
Right.
Okay.
But the government's making their tax off of that.
Well, make your
So
tax
that
off of marijuana.
changes their equation.
As long as there's some money to be made from it, then they'll make it okay. That's my problem with
but
legislating
the whole thing with the
morality.
libertarian, though, the thing I seem to just hear through the definition of, I guess I'm one.
Yeah.
Because I expect you to mother your own homeland. You're supposed to take care of your house. You're supposed to take care of your kids. You're supposed to take care of your yard. And guess what? Your yard connects to your neighbor's yard, and your yards become a neighborhood. And I always say, you and me make we.
Right.
We have to stand together. We need to make a difference in this world. And there's too many people that are sitting back eating cheese puffs, drinking a beer, not giving a crap about the world.
And that's okay for them to do.
It's their freedom.
As long as they make sure that their children that they're bearing in this world are being responsible adults.
Right.
You know,
All
they're
right,
not
David,
going to
what else you got?
Another good example of what a libertarian is we'll just say abortion. Okay, a libertarian, even though they may think abortion is wrong, since they're a libertarian, it's your choice. They're not going to force their views on you. If it's legal, it's legal. They're not going to say, you can't do it because I think it's wrong. Their personal belief is different than their political belief.
Kind of like
morality.
Kim Davis is going through right now. She didn't want to do it because it's against her beliefs.
And that's your personal choice.
Right.
Yeah. That doesn't make me a
don't be
liberal because I said it's your personal choice.
But don't be in the position that you're in as county clerk if you can't follow the oath.
I got a
that
text just a minute ago that says, I actually like this woman. Shame she votes wrong. With a big smiley face.
I vote wrong.
You got a big smiley face.
Okay.
But see, this is what I say, by the way, about everybody. When you get into religion and politics, everybody has strong beliefs.
Well, yeah, and you should have strong beliefs
But
because
you shouldn't try to shove it down other people's throats.
my beliefs
Right.
stop at my nose. Well, my lips are below my nose.
My belief only goes as far as my voice will carry.
But no, I don't think I voted wrong. When President Obama came into the office, we needed hope. We really did. I was activated, and the Twin Towers came down, and I wanted to defend my country as well as a lot of soldiers did, and a lot of us joined up. Well, I was already in the military at the time, and then all of a sudden things fell out. People didn't have any jobs, and they get us like that. They didn't tell us the truth about the recovery and how we would recover. And when someone walks up to you, and it's the thing with Black people is because life for some of us has been so hard growing up in the Midwest and growing up poor. Anytime
lost him.
someone,
He's
anytime
driving. Though.
someone offers you hope, then you go for that hope. And that's what President Obama did. Now, has he done a bad job? I don't think he's done a bad job. Has he done everything that I thought he should have done? No, absolutely not. And I don't think he's done an amazing job either. I think he's just been blah for the most part.
My problem, though, is misbeliefs. Like before he got elected, I'm
Right.
standing, I own a construction business. We're all standing at the checkout line of, contractor sales at Home Depot.
Mhm.
And there's all of us. And let me catch this just for fun. Hey.
How y'all doing? This is Mark.
Good morning.
I'm going to make a quick point and I got to get off of here.
Okay.
I just started listening to the show about 10 minutes ago, so I assume this is Doc's wife on the phone?
Yes.
Or on the show this morning?
Yes, it is.
I just heard you talk about you were activated. I assume that means you were once in the military.
Yes, I was. Army.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this question that I've asked other people. And it's not just with Obama in office now, it's been with presidents of the past. When you joined the military, you took an oath.
Yes, I did.
The same oath that I once took, the same oath that has been given to hundreds of thousands of men and women for the last 200 years.
Yes.
Part of that oath says you will support and defend the Constitution against all enemies,
Foreign and domestic.
and domestic.
Yes.
Why is it that the man in the White House now, and again, presidents past, just because of the desk that he sits behind, he can destroy the Constitution and try and take away parts of your constitutional rights, but we can't do anything about it because he's the commander-in-chief.
Well, I see things a little differently. I don't see any of my constitutional rights being taken away at all. I see a lot of discussion and fear-mongering between both parties to make us both believe that we might lose something. And I'm going to tell you right now, we were both soldiers, so our ideology is not far apart. You cannot give in to the fear. It does not matter which man is sitting behind the desk, white, black, or indifferent. Mm-hmm. He cannot take away your constitutional rights that have been given to you, inalienable rights, which means God gave you those rights. So don't let them make you think that they can. I haven't lost a constitutional right. He's been president almost 8 years. I haven't lost a constitutional right. I haven't.
But it's like the biggest thing now here lately, gun control. Regulate the honest people trying to get guns legally or take them away altogether.
Baby, gun control, those words.
You're still going to sit there and get these fools out here that are getting them illegally.
Good luck. My friend, let me tell you what gun control means. Gun control
is target.
No, well, that's true.
That's
gun
true.
Control is code word for sell more guns. It's a word
you know when they
used
do
to,
that.
right. It is a word to make you feel afraid. So you'll go out and buy another gun.
Look,
we've got 20 guns.
Well, when they did the whole, how about this? And what you're saying is accurate, because here's what happened. Right. We're going to quit selling all this ammo. We're going to make them stop ammo.
Huge magazines.
So then guess what? When they did that, everybody went out and bought 30-round clips. And also, we went to the gun shows because we were already going anyways. It's not like that made us. To go. But we went to the gun shows, and all 9mm ammo went up by $10 because, oh my God, you're not going to be able to get it after this.
It's a lie. You are being lied to. Your constitutional rights are not going to be taken away. Mine are not going to be taken away. They're not going to stop me from having the right to vote, and they're not going to take your gun. Why? Because to take your gun will take money out of their pockets because you won't be able to buy ammo. It's not that you won't be able to defend your home, honey.
Well, it's the same thing with drugs.
Well, here's another example. Look at it like in schools. Everybody, you got everybody who's all for, we need prayer back in school. You got people saying, no, you can't do that because that offends me. One of the things that in the Constitution is freedom of religion.
Right.
You may not like my religion. I may not like yours, but we have that freedom. If I want to bow my head in the middle of a crowded room and take a moment out to pray, who are you to tell me I can't?
Well,
but here's the point to all this. You're sitting here, you're absolutely right on something. We need the country people as a whole, stop focusing on being Republican or being Democrat and focus on being a damn American.
Being American. Stop being afraid.
That's
It's
what
the
I'm
greatest
saying. I
country
don't
in the
know that
world.
I'm.
Stop being afraid. And prayer in school, I'm a minister.
You're
Okay.
going either way.
My kids, they go to school, they sit down for lunch. If they want to bow their head and say a prayer, they can do that. They have not taken prayer out of school. What they did was taken prayer out of the teacher leading the prayer.
Yes.
Okay. So your kids can pray in school. Your nieces and nephews,
They can step off and do whatever they want.
Yeah. And you can, and yeah, we've read articles where a child opened a Bible to read and the teacher took that away. Well, you know what? That teacher doesn't deserve its job because they're misinterpreting the law also. Okay. So,
Exactly.
so first off, let's tell the truth so that people can start praying in school. We're saying there's no prayer in school. So kids are going to school thinking they can't pray. They can pray.
But the media twist words to strike excitement.
Right.
To make you stay
To make you
tuned.
afraid.
After this commercial, we're going to tell you why this cop got fired.
Right.
That is a trigger that keeps you hanging on.
After this commercial break, we're going to give you the reason why our ratings are fixing to skyrocket.
Right.
Exactly.
It's all manipulation.
So yeah, they're manipulating your thought patterns. They're manipulating everything based on fear. And we've got to stop being afraid. I am not afraid of anyone. Okay. I'm not afraid of anyone. I serve my country. I've seen things happen. I've seen people die, and I've saved lives in my career. I am not afraid of anything. I'm not even afraid of God. I'm welcoming to meet him, when the day comes. It's my time to meet God. So I have nothing to fear. And you don't have anything to fear. I was a voting Democratic. I do not want your gun. Okay. And I know you don't want my right to vote.
I might want your gun. What you got?
Yeah. Well, if you share it,
what you got, man?
But I'm not going to come take it from you.
It's visitation rights. You get it on weekends.
I'm looking for a Desert Eagle 50 cal, and those are rare. I want to have it painted silver with a pink Hello Kitty on the side of it.
That would be awesome.
Because I want the first person to look at me and go, "You sure look like a wussy with that gun." Well, let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me show you this gun up close.
The point of this whole thing, and then I got to get it out of here, was
yes, sir.
The fact that you've got one group of people who hate the other group and vice versa because, like you said earlier, these little fake promises. We're going to give you this if you support us.
Right.
We're going to give you this if you support us.
Right.
People nowadays, and it just shows, I'm going to throw this out there, that Common Core crap in schools.
Sucks.
I saw a 10-year-old child last week do this Common Core stuff, and I mean, it blew my mind. I didn't know what she was doing, and I already had the answer figured out.
I don't know what Common Core is, but let me read what a listener sent. The only way we can get the inner city kids the chance they deserve the only way we're going to do this is getting the inner city kids the chance they deserve by overhauling the school. I know I probably read that wrong. Quote, No Child Left Behind, failed.
Right.
Common Core is failing. I don't know what Common Core is, by the way.
It's horrible.
All right.
Hold on. Hey, hang on. Let me finish reading this. So it says Common Core is failing, and the way we fund school systems has failed. School districts have failed. Poor black kids are given no hope. Okay, now say whatever it is you're going to say, Chris.
All right. Think about this. Think about back when you or I or anybody else sitting at that table was in school. Think about writing out a math problem, 24 plus 12.
Right.
How you were taught to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you remember the old long division?
Right.
Remember having to do all
that?
That's basically what they're being taught now, to do 24 plus 12.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You're taking numbers.
Like you're adding the top two numbers together and the
there.
bottom two, and then you subtract.
So here's what gets me is
when I
was in school, a 70 was a D.
Now it's a C.
It's a C.
They don't have D's now.
That's what I'm getting at is when I was in school, if you got a 60, it was a 60. If you were under a 60, if you were 59, you were an F, and 60 to 70 was a D.
Right.
And I remember when they changed it and said that you had to have a 70 to be a D. Before it was a 60 to a 70 was a D.
Right.
Then it became You had to have at least a 70 or above
Right.
to fall into the D category. So here's what gets me is if and now you're saying they don't have D's, but what I'm getting at is if we advanced in that time frame, we said that a 60 is not acceptable anymore, that you have to have a 70 to pass. If we did that then, and I'm only talking 80s, they made that decision, then why are we passing people now and giving you a trophy because you deserve a trophy because you played soccer, even if you didn't play worth a crap?
Because the principle of dumbing down America.
Exactly. You're in,
So they're dumbing them
setting
down.
up,
Stupid people are easier to lead.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
you're setting
So
up
sheep.
the country's children
Yes.
for failure.
So sheep.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that's like
they're
that father.
Sheep,
not
I'm
just
gonna
failure.
run you.
They're setting up our children to be domestic workers. You're never going, like somebody texts, you're never going to get that corporate job making $1 million a year. Your job is to serve, clean, pick up, throw away.
Well, and the main thing with Common Core now that I've been told by multiple teachers is that it doesn't matter if the answer is correct, it's how you got there and that you showed the work how you got there.
So they're making it
can be
difficult for us
same-
parents to help the children
Right.
learn.
It'll be
And see-
it can be the right answer, or they'll still mark it wrong.
And I got this from a listener. It starts at home and then school.
Mhm.
Nothing changes until that changes.
But
Yeah.
now with the Common Core, none of us at home can understand what we're supposed to be helping our child learn.
Well, because if you're
Exactly.
if you're not understanding of what they're trying to do at the school, then how
Right.
can we?
Yeah.
How
How
can
am I
we? So they're
supposed to-
taking the parent out of it, and we're allowing it.
Exactly.
We are
If I
allowing
was
it.
to teach
What the hell?
that 10-year-old girl how to do math or help her with her math homework and do
Right.
it the way I know, the way I was taught,
Right.
she's not going to get a good grade because it's not being done
The way
common
they
The
want.
way
core
they
way.
think it's.
Wait.
and
So
the
we're not doing
answer's
it the
correct.
real way.
Well, you
Yeah.
saw my post last week.
I did
about
see that. That
trying
was
to help
yours.
my son.
Right.
Yeah, trying to help my son with it. It was like 600 and something divided or multiplied by 12.
It
And
was
so
crazy.
You do but what they want you to do is separate it into 10s and 20 or 10s and ones and hundreds, and then add those up instead of just doing the.
Instead of just
and-
doing the math.
And we
Instead of
allow
just doing that.
this Common Core stuff to come in their schools because it's in all the schools.
All right.
And
We
it
talked
Okay.
about
we didn't know.
I got to get out of here and get to work.
All
All
right,
right,
later.
bud.
That actually turned into
Oh
a
my
fight
Jesus
with my son.
Christ! I can't believe
So
that
you got
that's what we've
frustrated
done.
trying to help your son.
Well,
He
and
got
he
frustrated.
got mad at me because he's like, "Mommy, that's not the right answer." And I'm like, "Yes, it is."
All right, from a listener, setting them up for failure.
Right.
Quote: "Our government dependent as like I call it."
It is. It is. You know, you're
Okay, so the only way that I can make sense to this is because I'm learning government, but the only way I can see this is like some of the movies I've seen where it's kind of like a queen bee. You have the worker bees,
mhm.
and all they're supposed to do is work.
Right.
No thinking.
Right.
Right.
And then there's the smart people. I mean, there's so many movies like Descendants or all these other movies we've been watching lately where all these people, they test you when you're turning 18. And if you test great as a worker, you go live with the workers and
Right.
you leave your parents and you live with the workers, and that's all y'all do. And you wear
Divergent and insurgent,
yeah.
Right.
And you wear the worker gray clothes.
Right.
And then if you're supposed to be the farmer, you're going to put on the brown clothes. You
Right.
leave your
And you
family, you
become
go
a
live
farmer.
with the farmers. And if
Exactly.
you're supposed to be the business guy, you leave your family and you go put on a suit and you live in that. And they have, if you think of a pie, they have the round area of life, and you're put on that wedge as the
Right.
farmer, and you're put over here if you're the worker on that
Right.
wedge. And then there's the center people that are all the rich people that just profit off of all of us.
And you know they're going to say that's a conspiracy
conspiracy
theory,
theory,
but
right.
it's true.
but it's
That's
how
true.
it looks.
But that's what's happening, you know.
Jesus.
And they need more workers than they do thinkers.
And my problem is, and this is opinion / statement / probably going to be questioned as well, is everybody's, I'm not saying falling for Donald Trump, but everybody's fallen under he's telling it like it is. America needs it, blah, 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 blah. So far, I like what I hear. My problem is this.
Mhm.
Everybody that voted for Obama liked what they heard.
Right.
Everybody that voted for Bush liked what they heard. Everybody
Right.
that voted for Reagan liked what he said.
They
And
said what they needed to
get
them in
elected.
office.
Because what I was saying right before Chris calls, I remember sitting at the contractor sales desk and I turn around and I hear these two black guys And there's a big group of black guys standing there, and they're all contractors. We're just in line. And it's like, I can't wait for Obama to get elected. The first black man, he's going to take care of all of us.
Right.
And we're going to get this, and we're getting the Obama phone, and we're getting this. And I look back, and I said, you know what? I don't really know a whole lot about it, government. I said, but here's what I can tell you. He's closer to white than you are. Don't think any politician's going to give as much as they tell you because they're saying whatever it takes to get elected.
Right.
That's just the name of the game.
Right.
And they were like, man, we're going to be set. Y'all will be working for us. And I'm going, have you lost your mind? You're standing in a Home Depot as two black guys telling everybody in there, all you white crackers are going to be working for us. And I'm like, have we lost our minds?
Unrealistic expectation. President Obama was not supposed to come in office and be the black president. He was supposed to be the president of the United States.
Thank you.
And that's
He's
all
coming
I
in
expected.
as a president.
As a president. And whatever hardships that go on in your local area are up to you to fix. It's not the man sitting in the chair in the Oval Office. Okay, because he doesn't even know you exist.
He don't even know you.
Right. So
you're just an ant.
So if you have injustice such as a Ferguson, you know, my daughter Allie said this morning, she said, you know what? The trouble happened in Ferguson because those people didn't vote. They got the police department, they got the police commissioner, the mayor that they deserve because they didn't vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with her.
Right.
Okay. So you can't sit back, and I'm talking to my African American people. You can't sit back in a neighborhood and say, look how trashy our neighborhood is, and not pick up trash.
Yeah.
That's my problem. And it goes
They
the
don't
same,
want to take responsibility.
right. And it goes the same with any other culture. Okay. If you are comfortable with how your neighborhood, your local government is, then do nothing about it. If you are not comfortable with it, then you do have a voice to get up and do something locally. Start on the local level, irregardless of who's in the White House, because what he does in the White House does not make any difference to your day-to-day life. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's not gonna. Even if they change the minimum wage to $25 an hour, down here on Old Salem Drive, they're just going to raise the price of gas. They're just going to raise the price of the Big Mac to compensate for paying you more. So it doesn't make a difference in your day-to-day. What makes a difference in your day-to-day is the people that you're elected to run your local area, the people that you elect to be your police chief, the people that you elect to be your county attorney, the people you elect to be your commissioner. Yes, Oz and all of them. If you don't like him, then vote against him or run against him.
Or don't vote for him.
Yeah, or don't vote for him. But don't sit back. If you don't vote at all, or if you don't get active in your community, if you don't get out there and pick up some trash, then the trash is just going to build up. It's as simple as that, you know. And I'm sorry, we're in some people's faces about this party house, but that is us picking up trash in our neighborhood.
Right.
The party house is causing a disruption in our neighborhood. It's a trash. So we got to get out there with our brooms and we got to sweep it up. And that requires us getting in the faces of some of our commissioners to help us do this.
And we got to do what we got to do.
Right.
Hey, can I
go ahead?
Lighten it up a little bit?
Yeah, yeah.
It's changing gears.
Well, if you're going to change gears,
Yeah,
then hang on.
let's change gears.
Yeah, let's change gears. But let me read this last one that's involving this. Why continuously vote for the people that will never fix our schools when schools are where everything begins?
Okay.
Right.
First off, your property tax pays for your schools and your neighbors in your neighborhood. Do you realize that?
Yes.
When you pay,
which means it still goes back to our commissioners and our people that are on our school board and all that.
So your dollars control what happens in your school district. I don't give a rat's booty what president is sitting up there and what Department of Education. It's your tax dollars.
Our local
into
government
your community,
controls.
into your local government. So I guess we got to get together and go down there in front of Oz and whoever the commissioner is.
We need to go to the
and
commissioner
say,
meeting.
We don't want Common Core.
That's right.
Because it's your tax dollars. When you pay your property tax, you're paying for your schools in your neighborhood.
And she needs to come in a lot more often.
No, I can't. I can't. I'm homeschooling.
How about we give you a Monday night show?
Well, I don't know. I'm homeschooling.
We'll have to talk on. At night
We'll talk after this.
We'll talk after the show.
All right, so change us up. We're at 10:07.
So,
we got to get ready to leave anyways.
That's where I figured it's about time to go. So I was going to lighten it up, and I'm going to go ahead and pick on myself already because this is something that I would totally do. I'm trying to make friends outside of Facebook while applying the same principles This is a newspaper article.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is funny.
So if you'd have said newspaper articles, I'm like, you're trying to meet people outside of
I'm
Facebook?
saying this
Okay.
would be me. So
Okay,
I'm going to go
would
ahead and
be.
pick
Okay.
on myself so you don't
Okay,
do
so
it.
this is a newspaper article that you're reading, and you said it actually could be you in this article.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm not saying it is.
I know, but I want to make sure people know you're reading a newspaper article because that's not how you started this conversation.
Well, I was trying to make you think I wrote it, but whatever.
We already know that you didn't do that.
I'm trying to make friends outside of Facebook while applying the same principles. Therefore, every day I walk down the street and tell passersby what I've eaten, how I feel at the moment, what I have done the night before, what I'll do later, and with whom. I give them pictures of my family, my dog, and of me gardening, taking things apart in the garage, watering the lawn, standing in front of landmarks, driving around town, having lunch, and doing what anybody and everybody does every day.
Yeah.
I also listen to their conversations, give them the thumbs up, and tell them I like them. And it works just like Facebook. I already have 4 people following me, 2 police officers, a private investigator, and a psychiatrist. That was funny, Scott.
No, I know. I was answering Waterhead. I've heard that before, but yes, that is very
that would
good.
be me.
Yes. So look, I wanted to say something, and I was trying to see if Waterhead was listening before I said it. But
Waterhead is his name.
His name's Waterhead. It's a nickname.
Hey.
So he's not able to listen there at Jeep Fest. So I told him to make sure he goes back and watches this on YouTube. But we were saying about how we have to do things. Oh, crap. Hang on a second. Hello. Yes.
What are you supposed to take over?
Yeah, it's probably deep breathing in his ear. Scotty. He can't talk to
Hey,
us.
hey. I'm still live on my morning show, so I didn't know if you were calling about that.
Yeah, he's probably asking,
Give
what are you
me
wearing?
a few minutes and I'll dial you right back.
So, is this Jake from State Farm? What are you wearing? Khakis.
Okay, no problem. We went over a little bit, but we were talking
At 3
politics
a.m. in the morning.
So I didn't know if it was about that. So we'll call you right back.
Hi, who is this?
All right, bye.
We're wearing
Oh my
Jake
God,
from State Farm.
that is so funny. Anywho's,
So do we need to end the show?
no, we will in a second. And I know that was like chaotic for like a whole minute. So what I was going to say is earlier, when we were discussing how families and we need to be more family at home with our kids and we need to this. So I'm going to explain something to some people that don't know this about Waterhead. So Waterhead, everybody thinks is just this country truck driving, literally 18-wheeler truck driving, also drives a big truck, has a big Jeep. Actually, his wife has the Jeep. He's white. His wife's white.
Right.
His oldest daughter's white. But his
So this is a white story?
So his youngest 2 children are from his present wife's previous relationship with a black man. So he has 2 mixed children.
Mm-hmm.
And in the motorcycle world, it was kind of an issue, you know, but once everybody kind of met everybody, they didn't look at it that same way anymore.
Right.
So now Waterhead kind of backs out of the motorcycle stuff just a little bit, and there's no fault in any of this. I want you to hear the positive that comes from this. So Karen needs a new car. They buy a Jeep. So they start working on the Jeep, start hanging out doing Jeep things, because on the bikes, you can't do family things. You can only do 1 or 2 person things.
Right.
But with the Jeep, he can do family things. So like right now, they're at a thing called Jeep Fest. It happens in Jasper, Georgia. It is a 4-day, basically a 4-day event. They actually guide up there. Today's Friday. I saw pictures of them yesterday setting tents. So
I have a couple friends that are out there.
right. So because it's a Jeep festival, you get in with your Jeep, but it's camping. It's all family. It's every bit of it. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, pink, green, Latino, South American, South African. It doesn't matter. It's family.
Right.
And it's bringing back, there's no drinking allowed.
Okay.
You can't have alcohol on the property. The organization, it's not an organization. The organizers say that we are a Christian-based group, but religion has nothing to do with it. We're about family values. There's no preach.
Our values.
Right. There's no preaching that goes on over there. There's nothing to do with religion, but they're saying we are Christian based. There will be no partying.
Right.
In a drinking party nature. You know, it's family.
Jesus drank wine.
Yes. But they're saying that you're not going to come here. But see, when you go to the problem is when you have a lot of bike events,
right,
there's drinking and possibly nude women.
No.
I need to go to a bike event.
So the Jeep people are wording it so that 100%, don't come here acting like a fool because you'll be asked to leave.
Right.
They're not saying, respect what we're doing as a family. And, I just wanted to, and he said, what'd you say about us? And I'm talking about you now, brother. Talking about you now, brother. You have to watch it on YouTube. And, the thing is he stepped out of his comfort zone, bringing in the new family and everything, and
which would be hard for anyone,
right?
Anyway.
Right.
So he still does his bike stuff, and all the kids come to all our big major events that we do together. But he says, you know what? My family's my priority right now.
Right.
Like,
and that's what it should be.
Right. And at the time, his oldest was becoming at the 16 age, and then the two youngest were really still pretty young. Now Zach, which is the youngest, he's the son, he may be in his pre-teen moments, but he's like, as a father, and Karen as a mother says, listen, we are in a part of our life where if we're not molding our kids,
right,
this is where you lose touch of your kids. Those teen years, if you don't already have a grasp on your child, your teen years sneak by, and as parents, if we get so busy that we're not paying attention.
6'7", 275 pounds, looking down at you saying, you can't tell me what to do.
That's right.
Yes, I can.
So it's really cool. I'm
gonna
going to pull up his
but I
picture
will.
so you can see, just see pictures of, they're at Jeep Fest. And, and me and Waterhead, we don't get to spend the time together anymore because he's with his kids. He's with his family doing what he's supposed to do. And I'm finding it very, very admirable. Let me get my mouth. Admirable. You know what I'm trying to say.
Admirable.
That he is.
What's that? I like that. Is that his?
No. He drives a Peterbilt, or he wants to drive a Peterbilt. But look, that's them all at Jeep Fest setting up.
Right.
So that's them on their way up there. And that's his oldest daughter joking about
and just
him being
to
on the
see
phone.
Just to see him with that beard.
You would assume.
I would think, oh my God, this guy is going to try to hurt me. I'm a black woman, run. But I don't, but from the people that I've met, especially two bearded guys at the social house in Porterdale, I think beards are cool, first off. But, and meeting Buddha, my new baby daddy is Buddha. I've got a different perspective on what a person's appearance on the outside is. And I learned that we do the same thing. I'm a black person. I do the same thing that is done to me. They see a big black lesbian walk in and they get an idea of who I am before they even talk to me.
And you know what assuming does.
Right.
But the thing is growing up, my parents pounded into my head.
He's a good guy.
It's treat others the way you want to be treated. It's a bottom line.
Right.
It doesn't matter what color.
And I've never had a bearded guy attack me or anything, so I don't have any reason.
See, look, there's a picture of him and his kid. That's his son Zach on his motorcycle. Waterhead's behind him, and his name's Tony, but he goes by Waterhead. There's a picture of all of them. No, they just ride to have fun. That's a picture of all of them in the car. Look at little Zach.
Having a good time.
They're all just being a family, and
Right.
I think I'm jealous a little bit because I've
You
now,
got Zaylee.
I know, but I'm saying I now have this really busy life and I don't get to do some of the family things I wanted to do. But this is a man
He's
and
in
a
a
woman.
tutu.
Yep, that's one of the little things they did.
Now that's a man.
Yep.
A man that can wear a tutu, a pea tutu.
And
at
like
that.
you said, with the Jeep family.
He gets.
Yeah.
My God, he's in a tutu with no shirt on.
Yep, they're mudding.
I wish our listeners could see this.
So, all right, now on to back to, because we're on family, and this brings up another thing. One of our listeners, he says, great show. I have the same type of issue like Trump. He says, but a lot of Mexicans are family. What to do? Now, see this, I always say, and everybody hears me say, I always say, because I have so many little catchphrases, it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is this. Even though the Mexicans are illegals, they ran here because it's so bad there.
Right.
So I don't fault them for wanting to be out of that.
Right.
I just wish they were here doing it the right way. But the problem too is it's hard because I have feelings. If I try to say it as an a-hole with no feelings, get the hell out of here. You're illegal. You're doing this. You're causing all these problems, which they are. You know, we look at all these car problems we're having with non-insured motorists.
Well, Scotty, what you're missing
But what do we do to the families, though?
What you're missing is the process to get here is more difficult for certain borders than it is for other borders.
Right.
And so if you look at the dynamics of a state such as Massachusetts, there are people that fly into the country. In fact, let's talk about President Obama's uncle. Okay. Fly into the country from other countries and stay. And no one worries about that until something happens.
Yes.
Okay. And but they don't go looking for them. They don't care about them. President Obama has an aunt that's living in public housing, getting public assistance, food stamps, and so forth. And they shouldn't be here in the country. Okay. That's his family.
Right.
And just like he says, some Mexicans are my family. The difference is they make it so much more difficult for Mexican people to become citizens. The price to do so is sky high, that their only option is to do it illegally.
But
that's
I met
what we
some
need to take away.
Koreans that have explained what it took for them to get here. So it's
That's
not just the Mexicans.
That's true. And I'm saying certain borders, certain groups of people, and that's our government. They decide who they think is worthy to come in the country illegally and not bother. Okay, so now the finger is being pointed at the Mexicans because, once again, it is a fear trigger. Okay, there are a lot of people that live in the border towns, and they've seen, and I've traveled through Texas, Brownsville, Laredo, all the way to El Paso, Texas. There's a real fear of dangerous people coming across borders with guns, raping, stealing, and killing. Okay, and they are doing that. But the same thing is happening to people coming into the country, flying planes into the Twin Towers.
Oh, yeah.
There's no more death than that either. Okay, that's bad. That's just as bad. But we focus on one group of people because it's a trigger for voters. Okay, it's a trigger for voters. Saudi Arabians are good because
sure
they have
you don't
oil.
want a show? Because I can put you on a show on a Monday night now.
Well, anyway, what we need to do is make the process to become a citizen much more apt to do. It shouldn't be free, but it should be.
Hell, I didn't know it costs money. I'm sitting here shaking my head, going,
it's quite a bit of money. I could estimate somewhere up like $10,000. You know,
Jesus Christ,
and the test for citizenship. Most high schoolers graduating.
For instance, I made this joke because somebody else, not the Koreans that we spoke with the other day, and I'm not trying to label them. I'm trying to say, because we're talking about Mexican descendants, we're talking about Koreans. I want you to understand there is a difference. The thing I'm saying is, I've talked to other people before that say, yeah, man, I had to know like all the presidents, and I had to know when this president served this term. I said, I can't tell you who all the presidents were, and I damn sure can't tell. Okay, Lincoln. Sometime during the Civil War. That's my only answer I can give you.
You know, the first president is George Washington
because he's
Lincoln
on a quota.
Is the 16th president, and then from there, all I know is Carter, Reagan.
That's right.
Wait, Ford, Carter,
Nixon,
Reagan,
you know,
Nixon. Yeah. So only the presidents in my lifestyle, but they have to know all of this stuff. You know, which is okay. It's okay. They need to know as much as they can to be a citizen in this country.
And now somebody's saying, if you want to come to America, serve in the military for 3 years. Sorry.
Okay.
But
problem I have with that, see,
Yeah.
as a military person, problem I have with that is where's your loyalty?
That's right.
You know, all right.
Sorry, speaking of loyalty, I'm going to jump back over to Waterhead real quick. Little Richard said, and all of Waterhead's biker friends would slice someone to defend his awesome kids.
That's right. Always.
I mean, it's a family. It's a big family.
Well, you know, living here in Conyers and meeting Scotty and meeting you and meeting all the people that surround Scotty and Crystal, I am learning to open my mindset because I was pretty close-minded based on my life at the time. My life has changed a whole lot, you know. So you guys are good people. Conyers, you guys are good people. The Republicans that were in that meeting with us, with Janice, every single one of them, they were white people, were good people, and were willing to support us. And that is something I've never experienced in my entire life. I've had one or two white people come up to me and say, I got your back. Okay.
Well, you got two people right here.
Yeah. But for the first time, I've seen a community of people surround me. And that's new for me. This is super new for me. And for a lot of black people. They don't know that.
See, where I grew up, if it didn't matter who was my color next to me, if you didn't have my back, I couldn't stand with you.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand at that stop sign if I didn't know that if somebody drove up to beat my butt, that you weren't right there for me, and it didn't matter your color.
And I know African American people that have never left, like living in Massachusetts, never left Dorchester, which is a huge African American community with and multi African American. So when I say African American, I don't mean just black. I mean from different countries of black, and they all live in this one area, and they never branch out and go to the other areas that are maybe a 5-minute train ride.
Wow.
They stay in that. So they don't know.
And see, I heard somebody the other day make a comment, and it made me say this after I drove off and was down the road in the car by myself. Let me tell Little Richard, hang on just a second. Listening to somebody say something, and then I got down the road and I thought, I've never hated color. I've hated action.
Right.
It's not your color that causes me to dislike you. It's your actions that cause me to dislike you.
You just said something my mother used to always say. It's not the race of a person. It's their intent.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they intend you harm, it doesn't matter their color. They're going to harm.
That's right. Like, I don't hate Muslims. I think the Muslims that believe killing all of us, I hate you. I don't hate you because I don't know you, but I just think you're an idiot.
Well, as a military person,
you're an idiot.
I dislike you if you want to kill us.
Yeah, that's my point. If you think killing us is the answer, then you're an idiot. So what you got, Richard?
I was just going to have to make mention that, everybody up there, if I could ever be of service, I've got y'all's back. It may be the lower back, but I got
That's right.
He said my lower back.
So if we need a tunnel chased, for landmines or whatever,
you got us covered.
You got us
You
take care
got
of.
me. That's it.
All right, brother. Well, we're gonna wrap this puppy up. Thanks for listening today,
Yes,
and thanks for all you listeners today.
definitely.
All right. See you later, Richard.
Bye.
Bye. So listen, everybody, we were serious today, but truthfully, I think it was something that needed to be talked about.
Y'all
Some
show
eyes needed
yesterday was
opened.
funny. Y'all had me rolling.
So we made up for being serious today.
Me and David were in the car rolling laughing yesterday, and you saw how many times I was texting
Right.
And when Military Mike said he was going to take his stuff and leave, I fell out.
Yes.
I'm just going to get my his laptop. As soon as my laptop finished downloading, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
And then it didn't finish for like an hour after the show.
Yeah. We've got a great selection of people. I mean, and I think again, I always have worded when all of us sit down at the table, say a new person comes into the mix. I go, listen, the thing that I have to make sure is a group of us that get on the microphone is that any moment one listener has to be able to connect to one person on the microphone.
Right.
So today, everybody loves you today.
Yeah, they might not like me next week.
They might not like you tomorrow, and they might like what I have to say.
Right.
They might not agree with you today, and they may agree with me today. But tomorrow, they may not agree with me, but they may agree with you. And that is just for fun.
Right.
Just for fun.
To make fun of.
Well,
No,
I'm a
but
girl.
people get you too.
Yeah.
It might surprise a lot of people, but I'm a girl, and I know the power of tears.
Right.
So if they start disliking me, I'll start crying.
Oh, God.
And that wins every time.
Well, I just
Doc
want...
does the same thing, so we're already used to it. Don't worry.
I just want everybody that there's so many things in this. We are a disconnected world.
Right.
And if we can supply a connection so that you're not alone,
right?
Like, oh my God, I'm not the only one that thinks that way. Thank God, I thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
If I can provide you that to let you know you're not alone, you need to feel something in this world, and you need to feel connected.
Mm-hmm.
And I want, and when I built this, it was to bring back power to the people, the voice of the people, and it's amazing that I'm coming up on 5 years old, and I look at
a big party,
how big I am, and how amazing it is that all these people have been able to listen and do. Like today, I get a text message from a gentleman who I did not know was listening, and I think that is amazing when he simply asked the question about the
new listener
about
alert.
The Mexicans. Well, it's just I didn't know he listened. Like, I see him and he says, "Hey," and it's amazing and awesome. And I'm so glad that he's always been real supportive of us. But to know that he was listening today, it makes me a little giddy because I'm like, awesome. It just goes to show that
well, and the thing
it works.
Is that you always hear, like, if you can touch one person's life, then you're doing something great.
Right.
And I mean, obviously you're reaching more than just one person doing this.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's the whole purpose.
That's the whole purpose.
And you know what? There's that 5-year mark.
Sometimes.
It's the glasses.
So proud of myself.
Yes, you are. There's that 5-year mark. Everybody says, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So you hit your 5-year mark and you're starting to discover the things that you put in place are starting to work.
Yeah.
So in the next 5 years, just think of how much growth you're going to have.
And the thing too is
better chairs.
I have to keep, oh God, I've searched for them
I'm joking.
yesterday.
I like this chair.
I say to Doc all the time because y'all's world is different than our world.
Yeah.
And
only in the bedroom.
Well, no, but I'm talking like some of y'all's friends and stuff like that, and
them people,
the battery operated ones,
them people that see things different. And she says, I have to keep telling people it's just a show.
Right.
Quit now. Today you get to hear the real Scotty.
Right.
20 minutes from now, you might not.
Right.
Today we had a serious conversation. You got to see the real me. You get to hear the passion in my questions and my thoughts and my confusion, because I know I try to say this all the time, and especially to Denise, who goes to read a report. If I'm lost and I don't know what you're talking about, that means other people are lost and don't know what you're talking about. Exactly. I can't be the only one that doesn't understand. Quit. I can't be the only one that's confused when it comes to the Democratic
I'm completely confused
stuff. And then the Republican or the democracy stuff's not what I didn't mean Democratic, the democracy stuff. I can't be the only one. I was trying to say is when you get ready to read a report, you have to say, so this is a newspaper article. You can't just start reading the newspaper article and nobody have a clue what you're talking about.
No, but what I was saying is, like, I don't even try to ask questions as far as government stuff and all that stuff. I just sit back and let him ask the questions and just soak in whatever everything.
Right.
And then one day you'll be asking your own questions.
So Jacob in Tulsa, Oklahoma,
The
great
guru.
show. My neighbor Tay sat in on most of it with him and said, shout out for her if you see this in time. So thanks for listening in.
Tay.
Download our app.
Just for fun.
Well, Jacob is on your YouTube all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's my thing, and I said this last night at the end or at the beginning and also the end of the Ladies Talk Show. When I started thinking about the radio show doing a Ladies Talk, me and Crystal's talked about it over the last couple of years. We couldn't find the right person to do it. Who knew Crystal was going to jump in and be part of it as well, but we couldn't find the right person. And I kept saying, as many times as I've watched, there's a lot that goes on in this brain of mine, by the way. I have so many great ideas. And I kept saying, I need to invent something to be the real version of The View.
Okay.
The View could have been amazing. It could, or not amazing. It could have been amazing. The problem is you brought in two big personalities too many times. They had too many personality conflicts. And you also have a producer and all these other people that are on a teleprompter telling you what you're supposed to be talking about.
Right.
Well, the problem is Whoopi can't really speak as Whoopi.
Right. That's true.
Because she's reading what some a-hole wrote down to make you believe that's Whoopi, and that's not Whoopi.
That's their opinion.
And the problem is the only time you get to see that one flip of a switch of Whoopi, real Whoopi, may be in the middle of a damn argument.
When somebody strikes a nerve.
And then what? Then you're not getting the real Whoopi. You're getting the pissed off Whoopi. You're not getting like the real Whoopi. You are getting the real her, but you're getting her really peed. You're not getting like the real honest, good-hearted person. So my point was, I said, man, I need to invent something. And since I made this radio station to be the voice of the people, the power of the people, the people's voice, the freedom of your speech, then I need to put some women in a room. And even though me and Doc want to argue about how Ladies Talk is spelled, because it's not spelled correctly. Here's my vision of Ladies Talk when I threw it at Doc. Don't go up in the kitchen, son. because right now it's a little ladies talk. And to me, that's LADY apostrophe S. It's ladies talk, not ladies talking. It's ladies talk. It's kind of like, don't go in the garage. The men are out there talking. Don't go out there and interrupt them men. You know, it's men talk. It's man's talk. So,
but that's the teacher in her coming out.
I know, but she's like, all my friends are telling me that it's spelled wrong. I'm like, then you need to explain to them that it's ladies talk. If y'all men want to listen in to a little ladies talk, because ladies talk is supposed to be the closed door conversations.
When your friends are ready to put some skin in this game,
that's right.
Then they can have a voice in how Scotty spells.
But you see what I'm saying is the reason I wanted it to, and I'm not really, I'm just picking about the way it was spelled because, but that's where I wanted it. I wanted it to be what y'all talk about at the hair salon when you think no guy's listening.
Doors, yeah.
Because even though you're in front of a microphone, even though what you're saying is going worldwide,
right?
I want you to be able to look across the table to her and say something that you probably aren't going to say in front of your husband.
Well,
and it's not like, because you're hiding it from your husband. I want to be clear with everybody, but I want you to look at her and feel 100% trust and comfortable in having this conversation, because how many of you ladies sit at home and think things
Scotty,
and think you're crazy?
That's a misconception of women.
What?
Well,
they sit and talk and disclose things to each other, but they don't trust each other.
Well, that's where I was kind of going, though.
And I think what you got with, well, first off, you had a diamond with Crystal, a fully formed.
Oh yeah, she is shining.
Yeah, my God. And then
you already got her. You don't need to suck up.
No. I keep telling her every night when she gets done. She goes, I think I didn't do good. I go, honey, I am so friggin' proud of you.
Yeah.
She goes, are you just telling me that? I'm like, you know me well enough to know when it comes to the work part, if I'm going to give you constructive criticism, I'm going to be honest. And she's doing amazing.
Well, see, and it's like I told you that last week when you sat in for sat in.
Well, like today.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just literally.
We got listeners bragging about you.
Yeah, it's literally.
Doc,
like
you better watch out.
No,
I'm talking.
That's my wife.
Yeah, but it's literally like we're sitting on a porch talking about stuff.
That's what I told everybody from the day I started this. They go, so what are we now? Like when my first groups ever came in, what are we supposed to talk about? I said, imagine sitting on your front porch with your cousins, drinking some beer.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want you to be honest.
Right.
So go back to what you were trying to say. I know we jumped off topic.
You got the diamond and the you've seen the black diamonds. So you got my black diamond and your white diamond, and you made a beautiful ring with them.
That's right.
They work well together. And I know you're probably mildly surprised at how well your wife is doing, but I watch her working, and I know sometimes she doesn't know quite everything, but she keeps such a professionalism. Yes. She asks the question. What she does, a lot of people don't know to do in radio, is she keeps the conversation moving, you know,
and
especially when it gets an awkward spot.
I've tried, and when she had that happen the other night. So like the other night, so let me just tell you something, because my wife is always so shy and so modest. When I was remaking, and I have another app now that actually lets me make a banner shaped picture, and it says Facebook banner, because what I was doing is having to take square pictures and only use the top rectangle. Now I can actually just make a rectangle. So I said, ladies talk with DJ Smiles and the Doc. She says, that should say the Doc first. That should say Doc's name first. And I said, say it out loud.
Right.
With DJ Smiles and the Doc. It wouldn't say, it doesn't sound right to say with the Doc and DJ Smiles. It rings
better
when you say with DJ Smiles and the Doc.
She's very modest.
She's very modest.
She is.
And she's thoughtful of another person's feelings.
Yeah, she was like,
I don't want... Niece is like,
right.
It doesn't matter who comes first.
Right.
So they both compliment
each other. And Crystal's kind of like, but the Doc's first. I'm like, yeah, but if it said with Doc and DJ Smiles, that would sound right. But you can't say the Doc and DJ, because it didn't pronounce right. And I'm like, and we want to accent on the Doc.
Right.
So that's what I have to keep explaining to people when we're doing the show. I'm like, if in your mind
like
it's
featuring DJ Smiles featuring
the Doc.
And that's perfect.
It's supposed to be like Batman when you see them go pow on the TV show and wham and kazam, and you're supposed to put that in everything. And we talked about that this morning. If you have something to say and it's really like a number 3 on the laughter scale, I need you to make it an 8 when you tell the story.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
and I
that's
think-
part of our business.
So we have the doc and Reverend Betty.
I don't mind the wife. I don't.
You like
See, here's the thing. A lot of partners come into a relationship and they have a very public partner.
Mm-hmm.
They start feeling really bad because the limelight's not shined on them. And that's not my role. My role is very supportive of Venice because, one, I've done a lot. I've traveled. I've been in the military. And I'm not wanting to be in the limelight. This is her time, you know. So I don't mind being the wife. And I don't mind helping. I'll help her. What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Yeah, y'all up to something. It's
No,
kind of like that day.
She
y'all
was
gonna
making
throw
the
me in
comment about the time.
You
got somewhere
we
to
gotta
be.
stop.
But we keep rolling, which is good.
Yeah,
But-
which
and
is
our
good.
numbers still look really good too. So.
No,
Well, look,
But
we
anyway,
need to get out.
I'm
but-
in the supporting role.
Yeah, and and I said that yesterday when we were coming down the sidewalk, and your name got mentioned, and I went, "Why the hell would we have invited Denise?" And of course, Doc,
She
female,
likes Denise.
but it was only right. And I said, "But didn't you just say it was her day with David? Why would we infringe on that?" I said, "Doc, it's bad enough that we've robbed you of your day with Benny and you were with us all day." She goes, "Well, Benny has somewhere else to be and something else to do." I said, yeah, but I said it just kind of sucks sometimes that when we're out doing things like getting the shirts yesterday and doing things, it's like we're robbing people of their personal time. But I have to also come to grips with if they didn't want to be there, they wouldn't be there.
That's the
So
thing.
I have to get into that idea.
Right.
So, all right. Well, look, we got to get out of here, man. It's 10:39.
Everybody
over.
remember Monday, MARTA, anywhere will be free buses, trains, everything.
I
will be
heard
free.
last night that it's free all weekend.
Monday. It's just Monday on Labor
So
Day.
just
Did
Monday.
we get the shout outs to our sponsors?
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, I was going to play another round of our sponsors, but thanks to everybody. Listen, Rob's Performance. I know I sound like I'm over blasting y'all this week, but look, y'all are truly doing some mad stuff for me, helping me get this car fixed. I love you to death. And of course, we know Gravity. Golly, man, we just drank some of your
I may be
wine.
up there tonight just hanging out because David has to work late. So come and see me at Gravity.
And Social House, they're doing karaoke tonight.
Oh, boys.
The new car wash. Don't forget about them. They're doing a car show at the American Legion Monday right here in Conyers.
White Brothers.
White Brothers. Go check out all your automotive. Ravish Hair, Dr. Ink Eraser, Custom Tint and
Exclusive.
Sound, Now or Never Tattoo, Gravity, Rob's Performance, The Social House, the new
Exclusive
car
automotive
wash.
group.
Yes, and I need to add
Exclusive
them.
automotive.
Exclusive. We have to make their commercial. Copy Central and Pampered Puppy. And yes, exclusive automotives. And
Look at the
you need to go
list.
check out the cars. Oh my God, they had some cars up there.
Did you realize how much you had to take a breath in the middle of all the sponsors? That's pretty bad. Ace.
Look how many sponsors you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
9, 10, 11. Exclusive makes 12.
What?
So yeah, I need to get an exclusive. I just got their logo yesterday, so I've got to get. I got that sent to Anise. Anise is supposed to be getting it sent to the website people, so it should be put on the website. I got it added on to the Just for Fun sponsors page yesterday. We're getting there. I got to make a commercial for them.
Yep, let's do it.
All right, y'all. We're out of here, man.
Have a good weekend.
10
Bye-bye.
40. Where you got to go?
I gotta go get my kids and bring them to their daddy.
Oh, that's right. They get half of school today. I forgot. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to run all our commercials real quick. And then listen, I kept hearing Benny use the words not afraid. So Eminem's coming up. So we'll see y'all on the flip side. Everybody enjoy your weekend.
Yes.
Hey, tomorrow is Comic-Con. We are loading up the van. And I don't know how many other people might want to go. So we may take the bus. We're riding to Indian Creek, MARTA, getting off and parking there and getting on the train. We're going to try to go down to see the parade in the morning, and it's at the Georgia Aquarium from what I understand, and I know it costs X number of dollars to get in, but we're not going in. We're just going to hang outside
People
because
watch.
there's going to be so much
And
going on
Periscope.
down there. Periscope. I'm taking my battery back up because I already know my phone will be smoking tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, everybody. We're out of here. Thanks for tuning in with us, and holla.
Have a good weekend.
We'll be out and about today. Anything else?
Nope.
All
Good
right.
night.
See y'all later.
Okay, I'm hauling Ace.
Later, Utes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.